We are at K-Hawk Stadium this evening as the Raiders take on Waterloo Gibault. Mark, these are two teams that are familiar with each other in postseason play. They're two of the preeminent powers in small school soccer in the state of Illinois, and they're two teams that have gotten to the Super Sectional in very different ways. The Raiders come into this one 9-12-4, while you look at Gibault at 16-4-4, one of the top-tier small schools in the St. Louis metro area, and they're going to decide who gets a berth in the Final Four here this evening.
Yeah, two powerful teams here and programs throughout the years, and especially in Class 1A, they're always there, Gibault and Quincy Notre Dame, and they met in the state tournament a while back, and was a thrilling penalty kick game and 3 overtime games. So I think same thing tonight. I mean, we're going to have some rainy weather and some wet conditions, but be interesting to see who takes advantages of their chances.
It has been rain all day today here in Collinsville, but with the artificial turf field, things are going to be primed for the Super Sectional tonight. It's going to be wet. It's in the low 50s, but players who are actually in the flow of the game, this is a great temperature for playing.
No, it's fine playing-wise. I mean, I think the field dimensions might be a little bit of an issue.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, in a little bit. But as far as the rain, the ball's going to skip a little bit, so the goalkeepers and both goalkeepers are very good. And I think it's really going to come down to Quincy Notre Dame's defense against Gibault's offense, and be interesting to see how this plays out.
These two met during the regular season. It was a 1-0 win for Gibault, but that was an interesting match. It was very physical. The Raiders' starting goaltender was injured in that game, had to leave. The one goal was scored against the backup keeper, and Coach Greg Reese was ejected from that game. So there's some history, recent vintage, between these two programs that will play out on the pitch here this evening. Speaking of Coach Reese, we'll talk to him next as we continue our countdown to kickoff. You're listening to WTAD as we bring you the 1A Super Sectional. Notre Dame is on the road in Collinsville to take on Gibault for a berth in the state Final Four. More coming up as we count down to kickoff on WTAD.
What is really
Natalie Stratton of Advanced Physical Therapy talks from the heart about building relationships with her patients.
We do develop relationships with people, and by doing that, they can trust you because they build that rapport with you so they can trust you, and they start to tell you more, and so you learn more about their medical condition or just their life condition, and so it does allow you to, direct them in different ways. You're seeing some people 2 or 3 times a week, for that half hour to an hour of that one-on-one time. Plus, we love it. I mean, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm in the profession. I like those relationships with people. I see that as a success in treatment. If I can get people to trust me and trust what I'm saying, they're going to buy into what I'm saying. That's why, again, I try to go and do everything I can, new techniques or new ways or different approaches to getting people better. And the more I do that, then, again, you can kind of take people to that next level.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. On the web at advancept.net. Advance through life with Advance.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
And what you've done in the postseason is you get some token applause from the rest of the staff in the background. This is a schedule that you lined up to really test this team in the regular season. A lot of people are talking about your achievements as a sub-500 team, but I know you don't look at it in that same terms.
No, I think the boys have come full circle, and they realized, and we told them early on, that it was going to be difficult through the early part of the season. but the end result was us to see how we could do in the postseason. And I mean, I actually kid with the guys and say, preseason is the first 21 games, and then the real season is the last 7 games. And with 7 being your target number that you run to try to get. And I've been very impressed. I think the guys have played exceptionally well. I mean, the games I was there, I've seen they played well. Bernie has done a good job with them when I haven't been there, and they've gone out and taken care of business.
They say teams take on the personality of their head coach. You've been resilient with your own issues.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing well right now. I mean, the gallbladder's out, and that's a non-issue right now. But these guys, they've stuck with the program. They've stuck with the system that we implemented early in the summer, and we've continued to fine-tune it with moving a couple of pieces around. And I think they finally have a better understanding of what we want to try to get accomplished right now. So hopefully we can go out and get it accomplished tonight.
First time you played Gibault this season, there were some fireworks. It was a 1-0 game. Your keeper was injured. You were ejected from the match. Any of that hold over to this playoff game?
I mean, there's probably a little bit of a grudge match with these guys, I would think. I mean, I get along well with their coach, and I didn't think the game was very well officiated back then. And I thought their goal was actually an offsides goal. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we can use it as motivation now and see if we can push the envelope and try to get the bragging rights back on our side. I mean, like I said, preseason games don't count, but postseason, real season stuff, this is where it matters.
You're one step away from that state Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, what's kind of interesting is we actually have 4 guys on the team that have brothers that won the state championship, and that's one of the things I've been trying to tell these guys that, if you don't want to have to listen to it for the rest of your life, then you better win this game and make it to the Final Four. Otherwise, your brothers are going to be all over you the whole time.
That's one way to motivate a team, using a little sibling rivalry to get things done tonight. Coach, good luck. Go out and have a great game.
Thanks, Sean. Have a good one.
We'll have more from Coach after the match. Coming up more as we count down to kickoff on WTAD.
We'll outfit you from head to toe at Discount Golf World. For a new golf shirt valued at $60, free when you buy any new pair of Adidas or Ashworth golf shirts. Enjoying fall golf, Discount Golf World has the outerwear
Bruce, everything sound good?
To score and stay warm.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Natalie Stratton of Advanced Physical Therapy talks from the heart about building relationships with her patients.
We do develop relationships with people, and by doing that, they can trust you because they build that rapport with you so they can trust you, and they start to tell you more, and so you learn more about their medical condition or just their life condition, and so it does allow you to, direct them in different ways. You're seeing some people 2 or 3 times a week, for that half hour to an hour of that one-on-one time. Plus, we love it. I mean, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm in the profession. I like those relationships with people. I see that as a success in treatment. If I can get people to trust me and trust what I'm saying, they're going to buy into what I'm saying. That's why, again, I try to go and do everything I can, new techniques or new ways or different approaches to getting people better. And the more I do that, then, again, you can kind of take people to that next level.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. On the web at advancept.net. Advance through life with Advance.
Countdown to kickoff continues on WTAD. Sean Seacrease along with Mark Thomas. A reminder tonight, Mark, if you get bored during the game, you can get out your smartphone, pull up QuincyJournal.com, and watch the match that we're broadcasting at QJTV.
I might have to do that.
Go to QuincyJournal.com, click the QJTV tab, and you can watch tonight's game online with Mark and my analysis along the way. As we get set for the Raiders to take on Gibault's Hawks, the Raiders 9-12-4 mark. They have to run the table and win the title to finish with a 500 record this season. It's a unique place to be in when you have a successful program.
No, it is, and I think Coach Reese spoke about that, in the pregame. That they set up their regular season games to prepare them for the postseason, and that's exactly what's happened here, and it's prepared them well, and that's why they find themselves in this position.
This is a Notre Dame team that really fell on hard times in the middle of the season, starting with their first matchup with Quincy High, a 1-0 loss at Flynn Stadium. They would go on to lose 6 of their next 9 contests. They really regrouped at the end of the year after another 3-game losing streak and turned it around when the playoffs started. Notre Dame, despite the wart-ridden record, picked up the number 2 seed in the regional, promptly beat Beardstown 7-0. Springfield Lutheran 1-0. Lutheran was the number 1 seed in the regional. Greenville 2-0, and then in the sectional championship, Litchfield 2-0. Tonight's 1A Super Sectional in Collinsville pits them against Gibault's Hawks. Gibault, the number 1 seed, beat Valmeyer 10-0 in the opening round. Vienna Jonesboro Co-op 3-2. Columbia 3-0. That was a big-time showdown. You had 2 of the top 4 teams in the St. Louis Small School Poll playing in the sectional semifinal, and Gibault won it 3-0. Althoff was their opponent in the last round as Gibault stuck past Althoff for the sectional championship 2-1. The man who scored the game-winning goal in that one was Wes Digner. We'll keep our eye on him tonight. He'll be complimented by Mitch Meyer. Both are seniors. Both are very talented in the middle of the field. And you mentioned it earlier in the pregame show, Mark. This is a team that is senior-laden.
Yeah, there's 13 of them, and that's one thing that stood out. Also, their size. I mean, they're tall, tall, big guys. They definitely have the size advantage against Quincy Notre Dame. So we'll see how that plays out with any balls that are in the air and played on corner kicks and free kicks, that type of thing.
The players are being introduced as we speak. Our kickoff is just a moment away. We'll have that for you next on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Hey Riley, it's Truck Month here at Gym City Ford.
That's right. Come buy a truck from my Papa Steve here at Gym City.
Oh yeah. Quincy Notre Dame put the ball in play, start the game.
Woo! Let's go Hawks!
Go white! Or, whoop, wrong color. Go blue!
Good evening and welcome to Collinsville. The 1A Super Sectional is just underway. 40 minutes are on the clock, and the Notre Dame Raiders taking on the Gibault Hawks for the right to a Final Four spot in the 1A title chase. I'm Sean Secrease along with Raider Hall of Famer Mark Thomas. The Raiders are wearing their blue and gold checkered tops with the blue shorts, and they're moving right to left here in the first half. The Raider defense cracked down the middle by Gibault as Gibault leans on him inside, looking to get Ben Muth free. Along the near side sidelines, it is out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for the Raiders. Just underway, being hosted this evening by Collinsville at Cahock Stadium. It's settled, turned around now by Gibault. Gibault in the head-to-toe white with the purple numbers on their back. Played square by Zach Reuter, and Reuter's going to have his pass knocked away by the Raider defense. Raiders coming to the near side. Quick stop and go for Aubrey Reese. Reese leaves it behind him. On the right foot, he puts it onto the feet of Smith, and now Smith is dispossessed by Reeder. Reeder for Gibault, great work rate here early as he's trying to team up on the near side with Jake Reeder. The two brothers trying to get something going for Gibault down the near side wing. The near side wing in this case, Mark, isn't that far away from the middle of the field. You noticed it as soon as we walked into the facility. A brand new all artificial surface here as far as the playing field and the 8-lane track that surrounds it. But in order to work within the existing operational base at Collinsville, the field is actually fairly narrow.
Yeah, it is very narrow, and that's due to the track that was pre-existing, and so they couldn't have it as wide as it's probably on either side, probably anywhere from 8 to 10 yards, less width than a normal, bigger regulation soccer field would be. So we'll see if that comes into play at all, and then you have the wet conditions too. So.
Those wet conditions tonight will be still reliable footing for the players as the artificial turf is going to hold up very well. But when the ball is played, it's going to skip, it's going to slide, it's not going to roll, and it's going to be difficult for these players to find their pace early.
Yeah, you could see it there just before when Notre Dame tried to play a through ball, skipped right to the keeper. So, Coach Reese and Notre Dame will like to play balls to their players and teammates' feet and try to keep some possession. My guess from the earlier meeting, it's going to be physical. Gibault wants to get into more of a physical, more direct style, kind of like they just did there, trying to play the ball up over the top of the Quincy Notre Dame's back line.
Good job by Riggs to bring it down middle of the field. Riggs touches it forward to Zanger. Zanger to Riggs. Riggs tries to go outside. It's knocked away from him by Rowe, the senior stopper for Gibault. Playing under the lights here this evening at Collinsville. Sean Seacrease along with Mark Thomas, Bruce Terstegi producing in the WTAD studios. Bob Goff and his crew here for QuincyJournal.com. You can surf over to QuincyJournal.com on your tablet, your smartphone, or if you're at home, your laptop or your PC. Just click on the QJTV link and you can watch tonight's match live from a chilly and wet Collinsville. 55 degrees at kickoff. Far side played square by Notre Dame. Raiders in the attacking third. Bring it to the near side. They want to settle that down quickly with Riggs. Riggs wants to play it up the near wing. Flick back into the middle for Reese. On the touch, Cooper Reese swings it toward goal, but an easy hop for Gregson, the senior keeper. Austin Gregson, the senior keeper for Gibault. On the other end, Zeke Little, the senior keeper for Notre Dame. Little was the man we referred to in the pregame show, Mark. He was injured in the regular season matchup between these two teams. Some rough play in the box. Coach Reese didn't think the game was well officiated. He said he never thought that Gibault played dirty at all, but that a poorly officiated tone set the stage for that injury, and he was ejected for expressing his point vehemently during that match. Played square on the 6 now by Gibault. Raider defense sweeps it away. We talked about this Raider defense during the regular season in the crosstown rivalry. Jacob Murphy does a lot of work at the back for him, and he'll be key here this evening. Gibault on their own end sweeps it away back into the middle of the field, tracked down there by Tanner Zanger. Zanger, middle of the field, knocked away by Gibault to Reuter. Reuter wants to play it near side to Reuter. Jake and Zach Reuter. Jake is the sophomore, Zach Reuter the junior for Gibault. They're head coached by Matt Reed. He is in the unusual position of having his father, Tim, as an assistant coach.
Yeah, I think in that, from articles we read before the game, it helped him. His dad had a suggestion to put one of his players up top, and he got the game-winning goal against Althoff in the sectional final. So
that was Wes Degner. Degner, he had that sectional game-winning goal. So we'll keep our eye on him tonight in the middle of the field. He hasn't had many touches early in the attacking third. Mantilla with a quick flick for Gibault, and the Raider defense just collapses so quickly. Murphy works it outside to Smith. Smith tries to lay it up front. Reese wants to run on. He can't get there in time. Mark, what you talked about, that ball really skipping away.
Yeah, good idea there from Brendan Smith, but playing those balls through the slot there, it's just going to skip to the keeper, and so those are going to be tough balls. We'd like to see Quincy Notre Dame get those balls along the flank, see if we can beat some guys along the outside and get some crosses. But right now, Notre Dame's doing a good job keeping some possession.
Mark talked about this pitch being a bit narrow for standard size. If you go to a multi-purpose facility, you see the football gridiron laid out, and then the soccer sideline's usually about 10 yards wider than it. Well, here that sideline's only about 2 yards wider on each side, so you're working with significantly less real estate, especially for a team like Notre Dame that wants to attack at a variety of angles and then play a ball square in the box.
Yeah, and they like to play possession like they've done here. They've switched from one side to the other, and they like to get their defenders in play, especially Brendan Smith here on the left side. They try to use him and get him to go forward as a defender.
Scoreless, 7 minutes in. Each team has had a shot on goal. Neither one has tested the keeper, as both teams have been feeling each other out in the early going of this 1A Super Sectional. The winner of this match this evening will advance to the Corn Crib and play Friday night at 7 o'clock. That will be the late match. They will take on the winner of Elmhurst, Timothy Christian, and F.W. Parker. They are playing now up in northern Illinois. And that F.W. Parker team, a team that Notre Dame's familiar with.
Yeah, and I saw them play against Notre Dame in the Notre Dame tournament earlier this year, and Notre Dame won 1-0. That was a very good game.
Notre Dame on the far side with possession, looking to take it forward. Wearing the road dark blues with the gold checks on top. And now a foul whistled against the Raiders, their first of the night, the first on either team. It'll be a dead ball restart coming up for Gibault.
Yeah, handball there on Cooper Reese. Free kick here for Gibault.
So Gibault from just to the left side of midfield sends it in deep along the right side. Square now to the near side. They want Reuter to run on top of it. Raider defense gets there and just touches it out of bounds along the near side. That short field coming back to haunt Aubrey Reese. Reese back into the action. He chases Reuter from behind. Played square now, middle of the field. Gibault takes it near side. Raiders knock it away. You can see the size and power of Gibault up front against this Raider back four.
Yeah, and you mentioned Dagner, but Mitch Meyer plays up in tandem with him as the two-forward system. They're playing the 4-4-2 system, and so Notre Dame has to be very careful with Dagner and Meyer and their speed up top, especially on balls that get played up and over the top.
Coach Reed talked about Meyer as a powerhouse player for them. He had 2 goals in the sectional semifinal victory, and so he is no stranger to goal. Throw in coming for Gibault. They want to play it back just to the edge of the attacking third. Shields up out of the defensive side, takes it across the pitch far side. Just a fine mist blowing across the pitch here at Collinsville for this 1A Super Sectional. We're scoreless now, 9 minutes in. Sean Sechrest along with Mark Thomas. Thank you for joining us tonight here on WTAD or however and wherever you're listening from. Raiders go right up the middle, play it square, but it's behind Reese, and now a quick counter strike for Gibault. Out to get it on the top of his box is Zeke Little, and Little waves off the defense, marshals him downfield, and wants to punt this one deep.
Yeah, Zeke did a good job. You could see how high he was in the top of the box, and so as soon as Gibault got that ball, they tried to play it through the slot and over the top of the Notre Dame defense.
Raiders up front want to go one touch, two touch on the near side. It was Reese trying to get it to Reese. Curling out to the near side along the sidelines. That is out of play. And a throw-in coming up for Gibault. Well, neither team has adjusted to the narrower field early. We see a lot of play on the near side away from the team's benches, and we've had an inordinate number of throw-ins already.
Yeah, and you're going to have that, I think, throughout tonight. You know, look like Brendan Smith there. Almost forgot where the out-of-bounds line was there, and it's painted yellow, and then you have another probably 3 yards before the the track. So if Notre Dame can keep this possession, this is what Coach Reese liked. We just need to get it in some dangerous areas.
Fry on the touch from Smith. Now the Raiders want to try a long cross and just missing it. Wet conditions led to an inaccurate cross and an easy pickup for Gregson off the frame of his goal. Gregson's short boot bounces shy of midfield, and Gibault has to get on top of it and reestablish possession. Reuter in the middle of the field wants to take it wide to the far side. Now Gibault comes all the way back across their back line looking for Hoosier. Instead, he'll give it up in the middle of the row, the center back. He's working in tandem there. Sends it down the far side, wide side. Gibault, quick strike counter. The defense plays it back to the keeper, Little. And you right away hear the fans of Gibault calling for a penalty against Notre Dame, as the Notre Dame defense sure looked to me, Mark, like they played it with their feet back to their keeper.
Yeah, Gibault wanted a ball played back to the keeper, and so the keeper couldn't use their hands. And the referee, I think, was guessing that it wasn't played directly on purpose back to him, was more of a deflection. So Quincy Notre Dame maybe caught a little break there.
Raiders Tracing now on the near side. Gibault establishing possession, and we've seen Gibault be very explosive early in the first couple of minutes where they were constantly in the Notre Dame box. Now they've settled for some ball control. Raiders building here up the middle. Tried to get it up front to Johannes. His touch back to the near side for Reese is wide, and Gibault picks it up in the middle of the field. Well, the Raiders just seem to be building through that narrow center strip, a little 1-2 touch to try and establish the triangle, but suddenly Gibault breaks it up.
No, they've gotten 2 or 3 passes, but when they played that ball direct, they've lost it. And so see if we can get a ball a little wider and play to somebody's feet and get some matches outside where we can get across and beat someone.
Raiders on the far side working with Reese. He wanted to play it square. Raiders with possession inside the center circle. They'll come near side for Mitchell Johannes. Johannes plays it skinny up the near side wing where he can find Aubrey Reese. Reese back into the middle of the field for Van Steele. Van Steele on the turn, roaming in that center. He's got Peters with him. He's got Reese around him as well. Up the middle now, Raiders on the touch, come back outside. That's just behind the intended target of Van Steele on the overlap. And here's a pickoff by the Raiders as Gibault tried to go the other way. We're scoreless, 27 minutes to go. First half, 1A super sectional. And the Raiders are slowly grinding some possession their way over the last 5 minutes.
No, they have, and they've found Logan Fry a couple times in that middle of the field. And when he played balls back, his pass has just been off a little bit. And looks like a foul from behind here. Gibault would like to play a more direct game, also get it more physical, and Quincy Notre Dame like to play more possession, swing the ball from side to side, and see if they can find people's feet in this wet conditions.
The challenge from Gibault draws a whistle, and the Raiders will have a direct kick coming from the far side sideline, too far out to tempt a strike on goal, but they're going to run a corner kick style play to the top of the box. Headed against the grain. Raiders on top of it. Ball still loose inside the 18. Gibault uses the big body of Mantilla to shield off and clear it out of danger for the moment. Raiders get it back with a nice chest trap on the near side from Murphy. Murphy settles it down, looks for Reese. Reese on the curl, has it knocked away, and now Gibault wants to counterattack 3-on-3. Gibault moving quickly down the middle, cross to the near side. Gibault staying onside with Degner. He had the game winner in the super sectional, or rather the sectional championship to get to this super sectional, and it has to be knocked away by Zeke Little. Little came off his line late to challenge Degner.
Yeah, I think Zeke thought it was going to carry a little bit more, and so he could use his hands, and found it was about 2 feet outside the box and made the safe play and just kicked it out of bounds. But you can see Gibault, they like to get that ball counter and try to play it up over the top to Degner and also Meyer.
Some of the mist that was falling at the beginning of the match has evaporated. The Stars and Stripes are standing on edge, blowing from the far side toward the near side. Raiders have it off the restart from Gibault. Want to bring it on the curl to the near side. Raiders on the run with Reese. Reese head up, looks for his options. Gets an overlap to the near side wing. Raiders trying to deal it out of danger with Riggs. Riggs on the left foot, runs out of room, and it's going to be out of bounds. A throw in for Gibault.
Good run there from Riggs and trying to beat his guy and just went over the sideline there for a throw in.
There is an extremely large golf umbrella right in front of our window, just off to the left. So we're actually blocked from about a third of the attack zone for the Raiders on the left end. Raiders moving right to left as we are scoreless. 15 minutes into the first 40 minutes of this 1A Super Sectional. Coming up at the half, we'll not only have a recap of the first half, but Mark's keys of the game in the second half. We'll also have an update from the Fox Sports Newsroom and the latest on our rainy forecast from Bruce Terstege back in the WTAD studios. I'm Sean Secrease along with Mark Thomas. We are scoreless. 25 minutes to go here in the first half. Being hosted by Collinsville as the Raiders take on Gibault in this 1A Super Sectional. Raiders with a little bicycle kick over the head. Can't keep it in play. And a throw-in coming up for Gibault again. I would say neither team has established the flow they want too early.
No, and I mean, haven't had many chances. We did get a good free kick in there and it kind of bounced around Gibault's penalty area. But so far, kind of feeling each other out. And I think as this match goes along, get a little more physical. And Notre Dame's doing a good job of keeping possession when they can, but really haven't found any attacking lanes.
Johannes can't keep it down. Riggs has to backtrack. He'll escort it out, and it'll be a throw-in for the Raiders. Raiders working on the near side. Riggs on a skinny throw. Can't get it down the line. It's picked up by Smith. Smith wants to turn it middle. He has it knocked away from him by Meyer. Meyer on the crossbar side. Raiders step up, take it away. Start the counterattack down the far flank. Raiders on a right foot curl into the box against Gibault's four-man high line. Gibault does a nice job of backing up in unison. And, Mark, that is a key skill if you can execute at the high school level. Play a high line with a flat back, and you can catch a lot of offenses offside.
Yeah, and you can see where they won the ball here and immediately switched the point of attack. And Zach Valkamp did a great job of stepping in there and then winning that ball. And as soon as Gibault gets that ball, they really look to go forward with it and find those two forwards up front.
Raiders defending as Gibault throws it in on the far side, trying to get it to the top of the box. Gibault, Notre Dame. Notre Dame using a great body on the far side as they're getting great effort out of the backfield. Johannesson, Riggs, guys like Murphy there as well, defending for the Raiders. Near side for Gibault with Lemmy. Lemmy out of bounds, and the Raiders will have a throw in with Riggs on the near side sideline. Riggs wants to go over the top of his intended target, instead finds Reese. Middle of the field now, curl. Riggs has it back, wants to go center circle to the far sideline now. It's picked up by Van Steele. Van Steele plays it back to the backfield. And the Raiders back inside that center circle with the touch from Zanger. Zanger dispossessed. Now the Raiders work hard, get it back middle of the field. That's Van Steele again as he wants to settle it down. Hands it off now as he roams to the near side. Raiders off the quick touch inside from Reese. Reese has it back. Reese on possession. Stands up over the top, works it down the middle. Now Raiders try to give and go, and Gibault steps up, takes it away. Slide tackle attempt on the near side by Cooper Reese. He is discarded by Gibault's counterattack, and this Raider unit that moves so well forward and back together, kind of like just one big amoeba, if you will, Mark. They get back, cut off the attack lanes.
No, they did a good job there with Brendan Smith stepping in there and filling the passing lane and then playing a good ball out there to keep possession.
One thing that you always talk about, and you've said no matter what level you're playing at, be it high school, college, or pro, the one thing that good teams do is they don't leave any space between their top, their midfield, and their defense. They move forward and back together.
Yeah, you want to keep good shape as a team, and that's when your team has the ball, you want to go up, keep your shape as a unit, and then especially defensively to keep your shape and make sure everybody's marked up.
Raiders take it away from Gibault as Gibault tries to find cracks in this Raider defense inside the 25 line. High ball now at the 18, headed away by Notre Dame. Quick shot from Gibault, and it's going to go high and wide. That was a good look from Degner. He had the game winner in the sectional championship, and the big presence of Degner has the game's first dangerous attempt, though it goes high and wide.
Yeah, he hit it well, too, and you can see he got that ball, got it down immediately, and got it on his right foot, which is his stronger foot, and just hit it high and wide, but got a lot of pace on that, and he's a goal scorer, and you can tell that by just 15, 20 minutes into this game.
21 to go in the first half. We are scoreless in Collinsville. It is a cool, wet evening. Is this a night that it's hard to come in off the bench? We haven't seen either team go to its bench really yet.
Well, Coach Reese did make a sub and pushed Aubrey Reese up to the forward and had Logan Fry come out. So, and I think Aubrey's more of a forward and is happy to be in that position. But you got to be, got to get warmed up and stay loose. And when you're called, you got to do the job.
Attempt at the back post for Gibault. Raiders give it away. Dangerous in their own end. Stop and go. It's Eplin. Eplin wants to hand this one off. Degner looks for space. Takes it back outside to Mancia. Mancia pops it up back post. Little is there. Little in the air. He controls the air lanes with that right knee forward and makes the big catch.
Yeah, Zeke did a good job coming off his line there on a cross that kind of hung up in the wind. And that's a big part of goalkeeping, especially tonight, making sure there's no rebounds, no slip balls where they slip through your hands and bounce down in the penalty area.
Foul whistled against Gibault on the far side at middle of the field. Gibault. They have been one of the favorites throughout this season, and you can see a mirrored ideology in Gibault over the last decade, how they schedule, who they play, how they test themselves with what Coach Reese has established for this Raider program. Here's an attack on the backside, and the Raiders just too far wide of the backside post. They had attackers running, but the ball just skipping through on this wet field turf tonight.
Yeah, and you see Zeke Little, he hit that from, probably 60 yards, and If that was on goal, that was going to be trouble because you could see how it skipped by the far post there. So I'm sure Austin Gregson, the goalkeeper for Gibault, was glad to see that go wide.
So the Raiders showing that they will go to goal from any distance here early as they try and keep Gibault's keeper Gregson on his toes. Middle of the field, Raiders have it surrounded, let it go out of play near side. Ball's going to be awarded to Gibault. Last touch by QND as they miss the trap. Under 19 minutes to play now, first half in Collinsville. 1A Super Sectional, and we are scoreless on WTAD and on QJ TV. Long pass ahead, and the Raiders have to knock it out wide on the near side. This is going to be a dangerous opportunity for Gibault, maybe their most dangerous of the night. Raiders couldn't corral it on the wet field turf, and so instead of trapping it in their own corner, they just knock it out shy of the flag, and it'll be, in essence, a throw-in from the corner kick spot for Gibault, and they bring Hoser over to make the throw.
Correct. We mentioned this, the width of the field. He's going to do a long throw, and they'll set up this just like a corner kick.
Raiders defending the right end of the field to the short side post. Flicked on, and the Raiders can't clear. Now it's still loose at the 6. Toe poke, not there. Raiders clear it, middle of the box, and the Raiders get to it and poke it away from danger. No thought of a counterattack. Cooper Reese doing yeoman's work running in the box, and the littlest man on the field was the quickest to it as he knocked it away from danger. Tense moments for the defense of QND.
Yeah, Cole Hayes, straight off the bench there, came up with a big play for Quincy Notre Dame clearing that ball.
So the Raiders avert disaster here in the early moments, playing deep in their own box. Off the throw in far side, Raiders have it. They'll collect it on the near side with Smith. Smith wants to use the near side sideline for Peters. Peters on the run, stops, steps on it, wants to bring it back to the defense and slow it down. Put it on the foot of Smith. Smith thinking about where he wants to go, keeps it along the near side sideline as he hooked up with Becker. Becker, 3 goals and 2 assists on the season. Gibault runs it down in the far side corner as it went long. Raiders thought they had the offsides call. The sideline judge did not put up his flag, and so the Raiders dangerous as they let Gibault pursue. It'll be another deep throw in, but this time the Raiders coming out of their own end. Raiders with a slight flick on toward the middle of the field, get to it late. It'll be out of bounds near side. Now Gibault has it still dangerous within 30 yards of goal.
Yeah, Sean, you can see how Gibault quickly goes and how dangerous they are. They won that ball at midfield, and then boom, they're in Notre Dame's offensive end right away.
Shields on the throw-in, sets it up, comes outside now where he picks up Sace. Sace wants to bring it out wide for Eplin. Eplin, the 9 shirt, can't get it out into the corner. Boy, your angles just change so much when you play on a narrower field. And we see both teams willing to go wide, but realizing there isn't much there.
Yeah,
it's like being on a ladder reaching for a rung, and there's nothing there. I'm also reminded of an old sci-fi movie. Gibault, dangerous in the box. Eplin on the touch. Left foot not there. Over the top. Degner can't get good wood on it. Left foot diverted outside on the deflection and picked up there by Little. Oh, dangerous moments for the Raiders as Gibault was just playing pinball inside the 18.
Yeah, caught a break there. Degner hit a shot low with his left foot and hit his own teammate who had slipped down and fell in the box. So Notre Dame has to go back to their passing game, get more possession. Gibault's kind of picked up their pressure and won the ball in some areas and have been attacking Quincy Notre Dame here the last 5 minutes.
Remember the original Tron movie with Bridges? He goes in and plays the game, and then the rings start disappearing as the ball hits and the field becomes narrower. That's what this reminds me of this evening here at Collinsville.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
You need to. 15 minutes to go. First half, we're scoreless. And the Raiders working on the far side sideline. Just knock it out, and it'll be a throw-in for Gibault. That was actually a loose ball that gotten onto the field. Gibault already had the sideline throw-in. Flicked on short side post. Raiders have it surrounded, but nobody goes to it. That gives Gibault a chance to jump on top, and the Raiders finally deflected out to midfield. Well, if the Raiders own the run of play from 10 minutes in to about 18 minutes in, it has been Gibault in the last 6 minutes that has dictated play here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think they've definitely picked up the pressure. Notre Dame, hasn't had as much possession, so when they went to clear balls, they haven't cleared it very well. It's gone to Gibault, and Gibault's ran it right down their throat again. So, got to get back to getting the ball on the ground, playing the ball to people's feet, and keeping more possession like they did the first 18 minutes.
Mark, do the Raiders seem indecisive at all to you tonight?
Well, no, it's just I think they're a little tentative, especially tackling-wise. The last 5 minutes they went to clear balls, and they haven't cleared them out and away. They've cleared them, and it's came right back down their throat. And the last 5 minutes, Gibault's picked up their game a little bit, and they've won more 50-50 balls and been first to the ball a little bit more.
13 and a half minutes to go. First half, we are scoreless in this 1A Super Sectional. Raiders are backed up on their sideline throw, and Smith tried to just sneak it forward, pick up some real estate, and he was eventually called out by the centerman. Raiders get to it near side, want to left foot spike it down the line. Picked off by Gibault, sent back in on the Raiders. Now the Raiders send it away, middle of the field. Gibault on the near side, knocks it down with Shields. Shields trying to retreat on the near side. He sets up Muth. Muth on the feed, gets it middle of the field looking for Degner. He's going to run up top with Meyer. Meyer and Degner just so dangerous as the strikers for the Gibault outfit. They come into this one 16-4-4, the number 4 ranked small school in the St. Louis metro area by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. They knocked off the number 2 team, Columbia, and we've seen this Notre Dame outfit have some tough battles with Columbia. Stolen away by Gibault, far side sideline. Gibault's size and strength starting to show inside the 18 as the Raiders are having a hard time riding them off the ball. But Gibault ultimately cleared, and it'll be a throw in on the far side.
Yeah, you can see once again there when Notre Dame doesn't pass the ball and keep possession of it, Gibault's able to win the ball and use their physical strength to win the ball and go right back at Quincy Notre Dame.
With the wind still whipping out of the far side corner, now some more mist begins to fall. 12 minutes to play, first half. We're scoreless. 1A Super Sectional. The winner gets a berth in the state Final Four at the Corn Crib in Normal Friday night in the late game at 7 o'clock. We'll have that game for you here on WTAD and I believe online at quincyjournal.com as well. Near side. No, I'm told no. Okay, that is correct. That's an IHSA TV broadcast, so you'll be able to pick up the visuals there and listen to Mark and I work as well if the Raiders get the win. I was given the shiny pate shake there by Mr. Golf as he waved off the possible video. But the good news is that whether or not you want to get out on Saturday, Quincy Journal at QJTV will have both high school football playoff games in the area. They'll have Quincy Notre Dame hosting Cole City and Quincy High on the road in a rematch at Rock Island. That was a whale of a game in Week 3 that nearly ended Rock Island's bid for a Western Big Six title in their first Western Big Six game of the year. That'll be a rematch coming up Saturday afternoon. We're scoreless, 11 minutes to go. Raiders building on the far side, moving right to left into the box now. Raiders get it out top, quickly touched away by Zanger on the far side. Raiders trying to find room inside the 18 to threaten the goalkeeper, Gregson. Knocked away on the far side, and Notre Dame will have a throw-in.
That was better there. Murphy from his wingback position made a good run, got a ball up, and Cole sent that ball across. So here comes Notre Dame again.
Notre Dame on the far side. Brings it back out straight away. Struck from distance by Van Steele. Can't get through the defense. Now the Raiders look to regroup and come back the other way. Quick counterattack by Gibault is going to be out of bounds on the near side. The Raiders will have a throw-in with Brendan Smith. Smith quickly on the touch by Riggs, middle of the field. Looking to build something going forward. Logan Fry plays it back to the near side for Smith. Smith dances through 2 defenders. Can't get through a third. Enright just stepped up and took it away from him. Now a steal for the Raiders with Reese. Reese working out top, and a foul whistled against Notre Dame. That cuts off the attack and gives the ball right back to Gibault.
Yeah, good foul there from Cooper, just stopping the play and let his team get back behind the ball. So getting a little more physical here, which will continue to happen as the game goes on, and especially if it stays tight.
Under 10 minutes to go, first half. We are scoreless at Collinsville. Notre Dame, Gibault. These two teams very successful in the postseason. Notre Dame 11-7 in the state tournament. Gibault 14-6. So these are two programs that are really heavyweights when you talk about small school soccer in the state of Illinois.
No, for sure. I mean, both programs pretty much identical. Play a very difficult, rigorous, schedule during the regular season, and which preps them for the postseason, and it's fared well for both programs throughout the years.
And people give Coach Reese a lot of credit for building a schedule that challenges his program. This Gibault outfit, I mean, they play all the big boys in the St. Louis metro area. Ball is loose, middle of the field, taken down by the Raiders on the far side. You're a small Catholic school on the Illinois side. They are playing schools like Collinsville. They're playing teams out of the Metro Catholic Conference. Those are big-time teams. Vianney, St. Louis University, CBC, DeSmet. They are playing the best schedule that you can get, the best public schools. You're playing your Zumwalts and your other schools here throughout the St. Louis area. So this program is built the same way that Coach Reese builds his, and there's a lot of respect amongst the coaching staffs as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd say the biggest difference is Gibault doesn't have to travel. You know, they have a lot of really good programs, really good soccer teams in this area, both larger schools and smaller schools. So, but you know, very similar programs and have had similar results regular season-wise and postseason.
8 minutes to go, first half, still scoreless. Gibault on the near side, on the foot of Shields. Shields has to work hard against Aubrey Reese. Reese turns him around as Reese tries to build a tag team with Cooper Reese up on the near side. Out of bounds, and it's going to be Gibault's ball on the near side. Raiders tried to steal one on a quick go.
And I think that's a correct call. I think Aubrey tried to get it. Looked like it rolled over his foot. I don't know if he didn't feel it or what, but the linesman saw it.
Well, it's wet and it's a little cold. Maybe you don't have all that feeling on the top side of the foot right there. Raiders run over the top of it and blast it away with Nudo. Now they try to catch up to it on the attacking third, moving right to left. Gregson comes off his line into the near corner of the box and picks it up just inside the 18. Gregson kicking into the wind, takes it just to the attacking half of the center circle, and a foul whistled by the centerman as Gibault jumped backward into the Notre Dame defense. It'll be a restart for Notre Dame. 7 minutes to go, first half, scoreless.
Yeah, Van Still did a really good job there and went up for that ball and got pushed by a bigger Meyer and Degner, who sandwiched them there. And so we're going to have another free kick, and you may not think this is dangerous, but the last one
if this was a field goal, it'd be 70
yes,
yards.
Well, so Little's going to put this, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes.
Little's going to try a swerving ball at the top of the box. Raiders looked to head it on, and they were offside at the back, I believe. Raiders have to regroup. Here comes the counterattack from Gibault. Looking dangerous. Overlapping ball to the near side. Looking for Meyer. He's on the outside with Muth. Turns it inside, and Meyer gets a corner kick, first of the night for Gibault.
So you can see that. So Zeke hit that ball, didn't get it quite as far as he wanted, and Gibault won that. And you can see how quick they countered there, Sean, and they gain a corner kick here. And here's another interesting thing. So this corner kick's going to be from a much shorter distance, and on this field you can really drive it in low and have it skip across.
Right into the field, near side corner, short corner. Here's a header into the corner and saved by Little. Oh, that was just a quick header in the middle of the field. Eplin, I believe, got to it, and a big save by Little, the first game-changing save of the match.
Yeah, I think, was that Degner then that had that header? I mean, they have, 3 or 4 guys that are going to be tough matchups when they get free kicks and corner kicks. So big save there from Zeke. We talked about that goalkeeping and defense. That's going to be the key against this Gibault offense.
Gibault on the counterattack, slide tackles it away from Notre Dame. Coming back to the near side, Laurent tries to play it wide, but just mishits it and runs out of room. Yeah, you talk about guys who are big in the box. Degner, Meyer, Eplin was there on the backside as well. Now, they had a lot of options, and the backside post isn't as far away as it would normally be. You can get it there with what I would consider a very average corner kick.
That was just a kind of a chip across. It wasn't even driven, and did have a little pace, but Gibault, we don't have the height, but I would say they probably go anywhere from 6 foot to 6'3" when they those 3 guys coming up from the back. So it's a tough matchup there for Quincy Notre Dame on any free kick or corner kick.
Sure, you get guys like Johannes and Riggs at the back. They need a step ladder to go up.
Yeah, for sure.
So the Raiders trying to take this one scoreless to the half as Gibault, he started to counterattack with more direction and more conviction. 4.5 minutes to play as we remain scoreless here at Collinsville. Raiders knock it into the center circle. Short chance to counterattack, but they can't bring it down. And a foul whistled against Gibault is going to give the Raiders a restart inside the center circle. Let's see. Here comes Little again. He wants to drive this at another attempt on goal.
Well, this is something that, I think they've worked on in practice and they've done throughout the year. And also, I think Coach Reese must see something that they can exploit, especially in this windy, wet conditions, and maybe they feel like they can get something on this goalie.
Little tries the back post. It's curling in. Raiders on the header, directed on goal, and it's just beyond the far side post.
Well,
Raiders couldn't quite get the redirection they wanted.
Yeah, it was a good idea there from Cooper Reese. He got shoved in the back, but the linesman had the offsides flag up, and I don't think he was offsides when the ball was kicked. I think when it was flying, partway through the air, you saw Cooper kind of get away from his defender, but when the ball was struck from Little, from my vantage point, it didn't look like it was offsides, but that's what the linesman had.
And that's a change in ruling that has come in over the last several years. You now only have to be onside when the ball is played or struck, as opposed to when the ball arrives at that defender.
Yeah, correct. It's when the ball's played, not when it's, on its way there. So
how many more goals would you have had under that rule?
Well, I mean, as a forward and as a offensive player, you always, play that fine line between being offsides and onside and give yourself any advantage.
3 minutes to go, first half, still scoreless. We'll have a check-in with the Fox Sports Newsroom at the half. We'll also have Bruce Terstege update you on what is promised to be a soggy next 48 hours across the tri-state area. Raiders with possession off the restart, picked up by Gibault. Gibault wants to play it in deep. Raiders get there. Ben Steele doing a good job knocking it away outside of the left foot. And the Raiders divert Gibault's counterattack with 2.5 to go. We are scoreless. Gibault out shooting QND right now. 4-1 on shots on goal. The big save in the match belonging to Zeke Little, the 6-foot, 165-pound senior for Notre Dame. He wants to really put his stamp on this match, Mark. He was knocked out of the regular season game between these two. His backup gave up the only goal in the game, and Little, unscored upon this year by Gibault, has been very good. Here's a weak one-hopper in on Little. He takes it now. That was supposed to be a cross, but this wet surface has betrayed both offenses here early.
Now, Zeke's a big part of what Quincy Notre Dame does there defensively. Good communication skills, good in the back, and plus, as you can see, his outlets, whether he's punting the ball or throwing the ball from the back or coming out and hitting some long free kicks in, he's a big asset.
1.5 minutes to go, first half, still scoreless here at Collinsville. Sean Sechrist and Mark Thomas with you. Also available on QuincyJournal.com, tonight's action. Just surf over, click the QJTV link, and you can watch tonight's game at QuincyJournal.com. Raiders on a restart on the far side, get the throw in, look to go up the middle of the field where they pick up Reese. Reese wants to go down the far side sideline. It's knocked away by Gibault, back to the middle of the field for Reese. His head ball comes to the near side. Cooper Reese over the top of it, wants to take it back out wide. Raiders trying to go wide to the right side, then back to the middle, up the middle. Raiders a chance to slide it in. Raiders a chance to shoot. Nobody there on a great touch away about the last second by Gibault's defense. The Raiders played a give and go to perfection and only missed an opportunity to take the shot.
Yeah, Riggs did a great job there, beating his guy, doing a little 1-2, and then beat his guy again, and just was a little bit too far. And Logan Fry jumped in there, hit a shot, got blocked, and a good opportunity there from Riggs and Fry there in the midfield.
Yeah, the second opportunity after the short block. The ball just laid there for what seemed like an eternity. There was enough time to do your penance in purgatory and still get to that ball, as it was left uncovered right on the edge of the 18-yard line. A golden opportunity for Notre Dame, and they come away without a shot on goal. 20 seconds to go, first half, still scoreless. Raiders looking for a last-second counterattack, nothing home. Gibault on the quick touch, back heel from Meyer. Meyer up the near side wing, runs out of real estate, and with 5 seconds to go, that's going to be the end of the first half. We are scoreless in Collinsville in the 1A Super Sectional between Quincy Notre Dame and Gibault Catholic. Coming up at the half, we'll recap the first half stats, check in with the Fox Sports Newsroom, and Mark will give us his keys to the match for the second half. Continue with us tonight on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
Answers to your business.
Natalie Stratton of Advanced Physical Therapy talks from the heart about building relationships with her patients.
We do develop relationships with people, and by doing that, they can trust you because they build that rapport with you so they can trust you, and they start to tell you more, and so you learn more about their medical condition or just their life condition, and so it does allow you to, direct them in different ways. When you're seeing some people 2 or 3 times a week, for that half hour to an hour of that one-on-one time. Plus, we love it. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm in the profession. I like those relationships with people. I see that as a success in treatment. If I can get people to trust me and trust what I'm saying, they're going to buy into what I'm saying. That's why, again, I try to go and do everything I can, new techniques or new ways or different approaches to getting people better. And the more I do that, then, again, you can kind of take people to that next level.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. On the web at advancept.net. Advance through life with Advance.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Scoreless after the first 40 minutes. I don't think that's a surprise between these two disciplined clubs.
No, I think defensively, goalkeeping across the board, both teams are strong and they really keep their shape well. I think it's going to be interesting to see as the game goes on. I think Gibault would like to, get this a little more physical, also win the ball in Notre Dame's end, which they did probably for about 10 minutes there, and Notre Dame had struggles keeping possession. When Notre Dame's passed the ball, moved off the ball, and kept possession, they've done a good job and created a few chances. When they haven't cleared the ball real well, Gibault's done a good job of attacking and going at Notre Dame.
Taking a look at the stats from the first half, 5 shots on goal for Gibault. They were whistled for 4 fouls and had a couple of corner kicks. Raiders, 2 big shots on goal, 2 fouls and no corner kicks for them. A clean sheet for each goalkeeper, and that's why we are scoreless here at the half. The winner of this one will play at the Corn Crib in the state semifinal on Friday night. It'll be the 7 o'clock slots. That'll be the second semifinal of the night that night. They'll take on the winner of Elmhurst, Timothy Christian, and F.W. Parker. They're playing concurrently with us right now. If we get a score on that, we'll pass it along to you here on WTAD. Coming up at the half, Mark will give you his keys to the match for the second half. But now, let's take a timeout. Check in with the Fox Sports Newsroom. We go back to the WTAD studios. Bruce Terstege will update us on what is going to be a wet forecast for the next 48 hours as well across the area.
Yep.
Everyone has a story. This story is about Sandra. She's a teacher and she suffered from migraine tension headaches daily. Determined not to rely on drugs for relief, she turned to Advanced Physical Therapy for help. What can you learn from Sandra and her treatment at Advance? In the words of physical therapist Natalie Stratton.
A lot of times people are told that physical therapy won't do anything for migraines. There's so many different causes of migraines. There's different things that we can do that definitely help alleviate a lot of that pain, an alternative to maybe what you tried so far. The other thing, I know a lot of times people are like, I've tried everything, but I guess I would ask you, have you tried physical therapy? Have you tried, a different type of physical therapy? Because that is worth looking into because it may help you.
If you're dealing with frequent migraine tension headaches and think you're stuck, think again. Advanced Physical Therapy has helped many people say,
I didn't know I could feel this good again.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine on the web at advancedpt.net. Advance through life with Advance.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Natalie Stratton of Advanced Physical Therapy talks from the heart about building relationships with her patients.
We do develop relationships with people, and by doing that, they can trust you because they build that rapport with you so they can trust you, and they start to tell you more, and so you learn more about their medical condition or just their life condition, and so it does allow you to, direct them in different ways. And you're seeing some people 2 or 3 times a week, for that half hour to an hour of that one-on-one time. Plus, we love it. I mean, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm in the profession. I like those relationships with people. I see that as a success in treatment. If I can get people to trust me and trust what I'm saying, they're going to buy into what I'm saying. That's why, again, I try to go and do everything I can, new techniques or new ways or different approaches to getting people better. And the more I do that, then, again, you can kind of take people to that next level.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. On the web at advancept.net. Advance through life with Advance.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Natalie Stratton of Advanced Physical Therapy talks from the heart about building relationships with her patients.
We do develop relationships with people, and by doing that, they can trust you because they build that rapport with you so they can trust you, and they start to tell you more, and so you learn more about their medical condition or just their life condition, and so it does allow you to, direct them in different ways. And you're seeing some people 2 or 3 times a week, for that half hour to an hour of that one-on-one time. Plus, we love it. I mean, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm in the profession. I like those relationships with people. I see that as a success in treatment. If I can get people to trust me and trust what I'm saying, they're going to buy into what I'm saying. That's why, again, I try to go and do everything I can, new techniques or new ways or different approaches to getting people better. And the more I do that, then, again, you can kind of take people to that next level.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. On the web at advancept.net. Advance through life with Advance.
Second half on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. For those that are joining us online at QJTV, you can see what these two teams are playing for tonight. For those on the radio, I have the super sectional plaque that goes to the winner. Mark, you seem superstitious. You don't want to touch it?
No.
Touch it?
No.
No?
Okay, maybe a little.
Okay, all right.
I've touched
Now
a
that
few of
Mark
those.
has given it a tickle, we are ready to go here this evening. This plaque will go to the winner tonight here at Collinsville. I'm Sean Sechrist, along with touchy-feely Mark Thomas. We are ready to go for the second half. Scoreless after the first 40 minutes, Mark. Your adjustments for the second half.
Yeah, I think, like we talked about, I think Gibault would like to play this a little higher up and a little more up-tempo. Notre Dame needs to get back to their possession and keeping the ball on the ground and playing people's feet. They look like Aubrey Reese here has moved up top and as the forward up there in place of with Logan Fry. So hopefully we can get him untracked.
Now, this is a Notre Dame team that really specializes in scoring goals off of set pieces. But with the size and strength of Gibault, we both agreed at halftime that the Notre Dame squad should probably look to get a goal during the run of play. And we think that'll be difficult here tonight because they don't have the edge on set plays that they normally do.
Well, no, yeah, that's correct. They don't as far as the height-wise. But the balls that Zeke Little's played in has been dangerous. And so it'll be interesting to see if we can test that keeper, Austin Gregson, a little bit more. It looked like he had a little bit of trouble on the one ball that got played in that skipped just wide that Little played. So Notre Dame trying to come back out here and play a little bit more possession early on here in the second half.
Just underway in the second half, and Notre Dame switching ends with Gibault. The Raiders attacking from left to right, and Gibault going right to left. Scoreless after the first 40 minutes as each keeper kept a clean sheet. The Raiders in their blue shorts with the blue and gold checkered tops. Boy, the front is checkered, the sleeves are checkered, and then the solid blue on the back with the white numbers. The high blue socks and Gibault in head-to-toe white with the dark numbers on their back as well. I believe the Hawks a purple accent to go with their white uniforms this evening. Raiders have to track back defensively with Zanger. It's a giveaway. Here comes Gibault with a chance down in the box. No signal from the center man as it was the big man, Mitch Meyer, going down on the attack.
Yeah.
Step back out. Gibault not content with that failed opportunity. Have it on the foot of Degner. Degner scored the sectional game winner, and he plays it back now to the defense. Crawling forward is Frankerson. He wants to lay it off on the near side. Raiders defense holding its shape against Mantilla. Turn it in the middle. Meyer looking to distribute. Plays it back. Near side. Gibault patient on the attack. Rowe throws it down into the corner, backside post. Nobody home. Ball is loose. Raiders have to spin and shuffle it out over the near side sideline. Disorganized at the back for Notre Dame to start this second half. Great opportunities for Gibault.
Yeah, well played there from Gibault, linking up some passes and getting a good cross. They're going to have a long throw in. Earlier, Meyer got a breakaway there, and then
short throw in from Gibault on the near side. The cross goes out to the top of the 18, far side of the box. Raiders taking their time chasing after it as they get underneath it with Peters. Peters can't take it out of bounds on the far side, and Gibault has it. Work it down into the corner. Gibault jumps over that clear attempt, and the Raiders knock it out far side. Deep throw in coming up for Gibault again.
Yeah, what I was saying there earlier, Sean, is Murphy really came over and did a great job of tackling Meyer in the box then, and Gibault wanted a penalty kick, but no foul called there from the ref, and I agree with that. Great play there from Murphy.
It is a misty, chilly night. Temperature right at 51. The field turf is wet and slick, and we are scoreless here with 36 minutes to go in regulation. Ball out on the far side sideline. It's going to be another throw in deep for Gibault. Gibault, I think, is starting to tilt the field in their favor, Mark, as we start this second half. And the Raiders are going to have to do something to grab momentum back.
Yeah, they picked up the tempo here, and you can see how aggressive they are. And then linesman called a foul here on Notre Dame. And so what we talked about at halftime here, free kick, and we'll see how Notre Dame, you can see the matchup problems Notre Dame has with the Gibault taller offensive players.
Here's a high try for goal. Hits the post on the near side and comes out wide. Oh, Gibault played that in deeper than they would have liked. They wanted an attempt at the back post, but it slipped off the crossbar, hit the near side post, and came out of the goal mouth. Long attempt on goal from the far side, saved by Little on an easy skidder. And now Notre Dame looks to regain some of this momentum as Gibault has done everything but score here in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, Frank Mantia there played that ball across, and he was trying to place one of their players in for a header, and it just skipped off the far post there. And Little didn't have a chance, and luckily for Notre Dame, just glanced off and kept the score clean.
Raiders up top. We are scoreless. 35.5 to go in regulation. This one will go to overtimes and penalty kicks, whatever's needed to settle a victor as the winner advances to the state Final Four at the Corn Crib in Normal on Friday night. Left foot attempt to clear goes off the outside of Turner Zanger's foot. Tanner Zanger can't bring that one down where he wanted. And the Raiders have to regroup on the far side. Steal that inbounds pass. Raiders looking to attack left to right. Give it away to Gibault. Gibault on top of it with Meyer. Meyer, their biggest weapon, complemented by Degner. To the near side, Gibault with the giveaway as they tried to get LeMay on the run. Back to the near side, Raiders fight for it, get underneath, it's out of bounds, pick it up from the throw-in by Logan Fry. Fry looks quickly up the wing for Reese, can't find him. Middle of the field now for Fry. Fry can't get there, and working along this tightrope sideline, the Raiders haven't been able to set up the triangle in order to get the attack moving forward.
Yeah, you can see that. I mean, not only that ball skipping, but, it's such a... the field's not as wide as they're used to, and they really got to play balls to people's feet.
Taken by Gibault, curled out of bounds off the clear attempt by Frankeson. And the Raiders will have a throw-in near midfield. Moving left to right here in the second half. Notre Dame, 9-12-4 on the season. Gibault, 16-4-4. It's the 1A state sectional super. The winner goes right into the Final Four on Friday night. And they get that Keene plaque we were holding up just a few minutes
That's
ago.
Nice.
Going to have to wipe your fingerprints off it, though, when we're done. 33 minutes to go now as the Raiders get another throw in on the far sideline. Interesting night here tonight. We've had to contend with a consistent wind that's blowing across the pitch from the far side to the near side as you look at us on QuincyJournal.com on the QJTV button. And it's been consistently across the field, not tailwinding either end. So there's not a tailwind for one team and a headwind for the other. Gibault chips over the top, looking to run on. Raiders get their defense back. Quick touch and clear away by Murphy. And it goes to the outside far side. Deep throw in coming up for Gibault. Right at the top of the box. That's the 18-yard line. You hear us refer to top of the box or the 18-yard line. That's how far it is in the penalty area from the top of it to the goal.
Yeah, and one thing, if they do get a free kick or a long throw like Gibault has here on the far side of the field, they'll have the wind with them, so the ball will have a tendency to carry, and that's what happened on that free kick that glanced off the post there earlier, and now they have a long throw in which, and this ball will carry too. Anything that's going into the wind will actually hold up.
A long throw in on a narrow field. This comes to the short side post. Topped up from the 6, coming on to sweep it toward goal, and going just wide is LeMay off the right foot. Oh, LeMay, if he could have that back, I think he'd put it on this wet turf. Instead, he tried to go high to the right side and just postage stamp it in that upper 90, and it sailed.
Yeah, just couldn't get over the ball and hit it well over the crossbar. Notre Dame catching a break there, too. Gibault's really picked up their intensity, and Notre Dame has to match that and get more control of the ball. Otherwise, I think keep giving up these chances, Gibault's going to score a goal.
To me, these two teams feel like just different types. You have this Notre Dame team that feels like almost like a flyweight fighter. They come out and they're all flurry and sound and waves crashing on you and constant momentum. And this Gibault team's kind of like a heavyweight where they get warmed up and now they're moving and now they're starting to sense opportunity and they're moving closer and closer, having had the great quality opportunities in this half.
Yeah, and they pack a powerful punch.
Yeah.
And really aggressive, big, strong players. Notre Dame play a little bit more, if you're relaying it to boxing, kind of jab, bounce off again, jab.
Constant movement.
And looking for that chance and opportunity to stick a couple more in.
31 minutes to go, second half of this 1A Super Sectional from Collinsville. I'm Sean Secrease along with Mark Thomas, Max Kellerman, and Max Bredis. Jobs not in danger as the boxing commentators on the worldwide leader.
I would agree with that.
We'll stick to what we do, and we'll be fine. Notre Dame on the near side now. Deep throw in coming on the right end of the field. Raiders going to come back and throw this in with Riggs. Riggs, his blonde mop behind him, He goes short, throw in on the near side, play it back to Riggs. Riggs wants a cross on the right foot, gets this one to the top of the box. It bounces inside, pops straight up by Gibault, and taken under duress by Gregson, the keeper. He looked like David Freese going back for a pop-up at third base, unsure of himself, but he came down with the catch.
Yeah, we talked about how good Gibault and how dangerous they are going forward, but really defensively they kind of have struggled on set pieces that we've talked about. So I don't know if it's a matter of their forwards that are good going forward, don't come back and help. But that one was another dangerous opportunity for Notre Dame.
Little to the top of his box. He takes that pass that's too long on the counterattack, sends it down the field. That'll be a throw in for the Raiders on the near side. For those of you who are Cardinal fans, their team plane to Boston is still grounded in St. Louis with mechanical problems. So it's been an interesting World Series, to say the least. Raiders on the throw in near side with Cooper Reese. Reese wants to throw it down into the corner and try and attack from there. The bigger, stronger defense of Gibault comes away with it, but plays it out over the touchline on the near side sideline. Raiders touched it last on the deflection, and Gibault will be awarded this throw-in. I thought the Raiders were going to have another deep opportunity, but the side judge saw it and gave it to Gibault. Near side, Reese has it, brings it down. Reese working on the inside with Dylan Peters. Peters on the outside now as he floats away from Cooper Reese. Back onto the feet of Jacob Murphy. Murphy wants to go right up the middle and make the connections with Riggs. Riggs going to be turned around. We saw Riggs playing on the outside earlier in the season. Now he's moved more to the middle. Riggs on the run, touches it to Reese on the near side. Van Steele right up the middle. He can't get to it, and it's going to be a whistle against Notre Dame. Van Steele just couldn't step inside, and he ended up with a hold, and that'll give an opportunity to Gibault for the restart.
Yeah, smart foul there from Van Steele, just stopping the play, allowing Notre Dame to, get their defender set up and get their teammates behind the ball here.
Gibault, see if they go for the long attack like the Raiders did. They're going to test Little. Top of the box, Raiders knock it down. Near side, Gibault stands on top of it, plays it back to the defense now, but a missed opportunity, and the Raiders try to close on it. Raiders spring it up the middle, take it away before it can squirt to Aubrey Reese. Knocked down by Mantia, and he'll watch as it comes near side for Enright. Enright on the flick kick taken by Van Steele. Van Steele sets it up for Reese. Reese to the outside. Raiders look to go wide left and then bring it back square across midfield. Gibault, defensively solid, cuts down the passing lanes. The Raiders have to regroup. Up the middle now on the touch by Aubrey Reese. Reese wanted to go wide that time to Peters, and he couldn't get it to him. Near takeaway by Van Steele at the top, and instead Gibault gets it in deep. Popped up middle of the field by the Raider defense. Gibault throws Mantia at it, and his big body. He's like a tight end without pads out there. And he draws a foul for going over the back of, I believe, Tanner Zanger. So the foul against Gibault gives the Raiders a restart.
Once again, here comes Zeke Little. He's going to hit this ball long, and Notre Dame will get all their guys along the line there, and he'll try to hit this ball up and over the Gibault defense.
This one slides in, top of the 18. Raiders on the run, looking for a poke away. Sliding save by Gregson. Gregson saw that was going to be short, and he came aggressively off his line.
Yeah, he did a good job coming off the line there as Aubrey Reese was barreling down at him. And another half a chance there for Quincy Notre Dame.
You mentioned it, another half a chance. Those are the chances the Raiders have had tonight, and that's likely all you're going to get against a very skilled team in Gibault. You get half chances and see if you can finish.
Yeah, which is correct. They still, I think if they can get a little more possession and get Aubrey Reese and Cooper Reese along the flanks, maybe they'll have a chance to beat that defender along the outside and get across and even be more dangerous.
26 minutes to go in this 1A Super Sectional from Collinsville. We're at Cahock Stadium, the hosts for tonight's 1A showdown between Gibault's Hawks and the Notre Dame Raiders. I'm Sean Seacrease along with Mark Thomas. We thank our producer back in the WTAD studios, Bruce Terstegi. We couldn't bring this to you without him. Raiders on the far side working on these wet conditions. Middle of the box now for Gibault. Gibault trying to turn square, and a foul whistled on Gibault, as I believe they had Degner trying to turn inside the 18. Raiders get a restart.
Yeah, Jacob Murphy once again and doing a great job there as a center defender. Earlier, he won a ball in the box as Mitch Meyer was going in. Here he won a ball off Dagner and Notre Dame with a free kick.
Raiders knock it away, have to regroup in midfield. Stolen by Gibault. Raiders get to it. Quick touch underneath for Nudo, and he goes to the far side. Raiders want to launch it. A little chase down the left side of the pitch. Raiders run onto it, but the numbers are superior for Gibault, and they clear it away to the near side. That'll be a throw-in for Notre Dame, about 35 yards from goal, as we count down to 25 minutes to go here in the second half. We are still scoreless. Each keeper has kept a clean sheet, and each keeper has had to make at least one dynamic save in order to keep zeros on the board. Raiders looking to throw this one in with Volkamp on the near side. Volkamp finds his man. He wants Riggs, and it's just out of bounds on the near side on a cold, wet touch. Raiders come back along the near side sideline. Gibault with the throw in. Raiders get another bad touch on the near side and end up backtracking into their own end. Raiders just not happy with that. Logan Fry is unhappy with himself with a couple of poor trap attempts. Another throw in, this time from midfield for Gibault. Gibault, he wants an opportunity on the near side, trying to feed it wide. As Gibault's Reuter, we haven't called his name since early in the first half, works it up top with Meyer. Meyer and Muth are there as well. Well, Gibault looking in good stead. Long entry pass on the far side, just hops into the hands of Little as no one could get on that angled cross. Officially a shot on goal, because if Little hadn't stopped it, it would have gone in, but not much danger there when you have a savvy veteran talent like Little in the goal. Raiders working at the top now, put it on the foot of Volkamp. Volkamp wants to go short, middle of the field for Riggs. Riggs brings it out wide for Reese. Reese wants to come even wider for Reese. Cooper Reese on the touch, left foot, drives it low and hard, and spread eagle. To leap on it is Austin Gregson, the keeper for Gibault.
Yeah, finally got a couple passes there, and Cooper had his guy one-on-one, and I would have liked to seen him go right at him and try to beat him, get to that end line. Instead, he kind of pulled it out and tried to hit I don't know if he was hitting a cross or hit a shot, but it just went to the goalkeeper Gregson there. Notre Dame here with another free kick about the 50-yard line. You'll see Little come up again, and Notre Dame will get their guys up there. And Coach Reese must see something that he likes, because this is probably the fourth or fifth time we've done it tonight.
Think of it in terms of a field goal. This would be about a 60-yard field goal for Little. He shoots this one in against the grain to the near side, looking for that skip back post. Nice head ball out by the defense of Gibault. Raiders have it on the near side sideline. It's going to be a foul whistled against Notre Dame, and a restart coming up for Gibault.
Yeah, they called on offsides there. One thing you noticed there, Dagener, he came back and won that ball in the air, and he's a forward, and so that's one adjustment Gibault's made to Little playing that ball in. Dagener's now came all the way back from his forward slot to win those head balls.
Scoreless, 22 and a half to go at Collinsville. Sean Secrease along with Mark Thomas. Notre Dame sliding down on the near side. Here's a giveaway and a chance for Meyer to get on top. He's in the near side corner, turns his back to the defender, looks to pop it out along the near side sideline. He's going to get some help up the near wing as the feed comes from Enright. Middle of the field, opportunity for the big goal scorer. Toe poke goes wide on the right side, and shaking his fists is Dagner.
Yeah, Dagner wanted a deflection there. He thought it slid off the Notre Dame's defender there and wanted a corner kick, and couldn't tell if it did or not, but Notre Dame here with a goal kick.
Oh, Degner's had the two really good quality looks from the middle of the field for Gibault tonight.
Yeah, and as big and tall as he is, you know, if they get a corner kick, that'd be a dangerous opportunity for Gibault.
Yeah, he and Meyer as well. There are guys in the middle of this lineup. Meyer and Degner. Eplin had the attempt earlier tonight. A senior-heavy Gibault team this year. You said 13 seniors on this roster. You know, that's a lot of leadership and a lot of guys who know this is their last go-round. We talked about it in the pregame show with Coach Reese. He's using the specter of sibling rivalry to motivate his young men. 4 of these Notre Dame players have older brothers who won that state title a couple of years ago. So maybe trying to whip up some sibling competition there.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm the youngest of, I have 3 older brothers, and my my one brother Timmy went to the Elite Eight with Quincy Notre Dame, and I got to see him lose in the quarterfinals. And my other brother Jim won a national title with Quincy College, and also lost to Granite City way back in the day. And Granite City went on to win one of their 12 championships.
They were good.
They were good, and so yep, definitely inspired me to do better, and not a bad ploy by Coach Reese.
20 minutes to go on the pitch here at Collinsville, and the Raiders called for a foul. Raiders and Gibault Hawks can't quite decide who was going to have possession in the middle third. Knocking it around, trying to get a handle on it. Gibault to boot it away. From deep in their own territory, Gibault looking for a head ball to set up an opportunity. Raiders knock it away with one head, now two, and a trap on the far side sideline by Dylan Peters as he wants to work this one forward. Gibault has it. Play it square, middle of the field, and right down into the corner. Can the Raiders cut it off? Won't need to. Slick field turf, and the ball scoots out over the end line. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Zeke Little and the Raiders with now less than 20 minutes to go in a scoreless match.
One thing you see Coach Reese doing, and you see Coach Longer with Quincy High do this, Notre Dame subbing a little bit more. Gibault, I don't think, has used any subs that I've seen. So trying to keep some fresh players in there and see if they can take advantage of that.
Now, the other thing to keep in mind, too, is until someone scores, the clock is a bit of a lie. There will be overtime here tonight if we're all tied up, whether it's 0-0 or 1-1. Raiders with it on the foot of Volkamp on the near side sidelines. He wants to play it quickly square on a give and go. Back to Volkamp. Volkamp inside sliding to his left. Middle of the field. Raiders have it, want a turn. Can't get a toe poke at the last second from Zanger to go wide. And so it's a counterattack for Gibault. Gibault up the far side. Gibault 2-on-1. Cross to the middle looking for Meyer, and it's poked away by the Raider defense. Meyer was running free as he had his shoulder inside Volkamp, and he would have had the first opportunity to touch that by Little. But the Raider defense strong when they had to be.
Yeah, a good job of getting back there from Brendan Smith and Zanger and also Murphy as the center back there, and definitely got that off Dagner's foot. You could see the speed there from the big fella there too, running from 30 yards in.
Raiders and Gibault's Hawks scoreless. 18.5 to go. Raiders on the near side. Get it to Cooper Reese. Reese wants to go far side as the Raiders bring their left wing back up into the attack. Raiders go square, top of the box, cross, head ball, no good. The Raiders had it on the head of Johannes. One of the smaller men leaking forward may have been Riggs, and they just couldn't get to it in time. Fry was there as well, and able to pick out one of their mighty mites going right down the middle.
Yeah, good ball there from Cooper Reese playing it wide. And we talked about if we could get some guys down the flank, and then Brendan Smith played that ball across. And smallest guy on the pitch, Cole Hayes, got that header, but just hit it wide. But a good effort there, getting in a good spot.
Yeah, all he had to do was kind of knock that down toward the back post. Nobody was there. The keeper, Gregson, was out of position, but he couldn't get enough head on it to redirect it. Raiders want to come to the near side, still scoreless, 17.5 to go. Launched up the near side by Gibault. Not much fight in Gibault right now as they seem to be in a bit of a lull after commanding the first 12 minutes of this second half.
Yeah, well, I mean, what we talked about is if Notre Dame can keep possession and pass the ball, they can eliminate that aggressiveness of Gibault. When Notre Dame gets from kicking and not playing balls to people's feet, then Gibault can really attack using their strength and numbers.
Reuter on the near side sideline for Gibault, middle of the field, gets it to Muth. Muth plays it back door. He looks for a run on for Eplin Laurent, and it's going to be in the corner and just out over the near side sideline. Throw in for Gibault. I think the Raiders thought that had gone out earlier than that, and it played it rather casually in a dangerous area.
Yeah, I think Fry was trying to play that up, just slid off his foot, and another long throw in here from Gibault, and the officials trying to bring him back.
And right with the long throw, going to go short side post. Raiders have that covered all day long. Knocked up and outside the 18 to the near side sideline. Gibault on it, laces it into the middle. Raider defense is there to take it away, and another opportunity for Mantilla as he can't get to it in time. Well, that was just a soft serve pass that the Raiders were alert to, because if that goes through, it's trouble, and Gibault is capitalizing.
Yeah, Notre Dame got to do a little bit better job when they clear the ball, clear it up and away and a long way away from the goal. A couple times tonight they've cleared it and it's gone right back to Gibault, and they've and shoved it right down Notre Dame's throat again.
Long punt by Little, the Notre Dame goalkeeper. Ball comes forward, and it's going to be picked up by Gibault's Lemmy. Center of the field, they sweep it out wide. Back defensively is Murphy. He sweeps it across midfield, and the Raiders with Riggs want to go to the far side. Riggs working up the line with Fry on the left side. Now comes back to the near side, and the Raiders getting good work out of Fry as he charges to the near side sideline. Takes down one man, now two, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gibault. Raiders have the deep throw in with Cooper Reese. Reese throws it into the corner. He wants to let Reese run onto it. Aubrey Reese can't get there. Gibault just knocking him down with shoulder-to-shoulder contact, and no whistle on the play. Gibault gives it away. Fry on the touch, slides in late tackle, comes down out of bounds, and a throw in for Gibault. Raiders showing some fight here in these last 2 minutes.
That's a bad call there from the linesman.
Tilt the field. The centerman is going to whistle it the other way, or no, he waves off the complaint from the far side, the coaches' boxes. The head coaches, Matt Reed for Gibault, and of course Greg Reese for the Raiders. We wish Coach Reese well as he dealt with some health issues over the last weeks. He says he is ready to go tonight. He'll be feeling no pain on that sideline, the adrenaline flowing with this big super sectional showdown between Notre Dame and Gibault. 14.5 to go. We're still scoreless at Collinsville. Thank you to the Collinsville Athletic Director staff and technical staff for not only hosting us this evening, but working with us to bring this presentation to you on WTAD and online at QuincyJournal.com. Giveaway center of the field for Gibault. Raiders get on top of it with Van Steele taking the far side sideline, but giving back to Gibault. Gibault, middle of the field, want to go with a give and go. Raiders are wise to it and have possession back after a quick deflection. Riggs working in the center of the field, comes to the near side for Reese. Reese on the touch, comes to the near side wing. Reese trying to turn the corner and attack down the right side flank. He's going to be held up by Frankenson. No whistle. Now a back touch by Reese. Left foot, wants to cross to the back post. Instead it goes short, slides into the middle. Raiders back to goal, turn from the 6. Cooper Reese can't get the shot off. Top of the box, Raiders working in the box, and it's cleared by Gibault. Best flurry of the evening for the Raiders as they were working dangerous from the right side wing.
Yeah, good effort there from Aubrey and beat his guy. And I'm telling you, if they can get that ball down the line and get it wide and get some crosses, it can create some problems and play the ball there. And Cooper turned, hit a good shot, just got blocked by the Gibault defender, but some good work there from Quincy Notre Dame.
We are scoreless. If either team can net one in the last 13 minutes, I feel like one goal is going to be plenty to hold off the opposition here tonight. Raiders up the middle, give and go. Riggs down the middle, cleared away by the defensive Kohler for Gibault. To the far side, Raider, aggressive header down the far side sideline, trying to pick up Riggs. Riggs works on the sideline, out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for Notre Dame.
Well, you remember the Quincy High game, they scored on a long throw, and they're going to have the win, so they'll be able to throw this long and far. So let's see if we can get in on the end of this. Look for Zanger and also Brendan Smith to flick this ball on, and can Aubrey or anybody else get on the back end of this?
Raiders on a long throw. It's short of the near side post, pops straight up. Gibault on the header, cracks it outside the 18. Raiders with possession on the far side, now taken by Gibault, given away. Raiders want to stay middle of the field. Gibault steps up, takes it away. Counterattack underway, 4-on-3. Raiders have to hurry to get back and get into defensive shape. Gibault, middle of the field, can't find it. Going to go wide to the right side. Gibault angling from the corner. Raiders take away. Now giving back to Gibault, and a foul against Notre Dame. That was a clear trip as the Raiders stepped in, and Gibault will have the restart.
Yeah, good work there from Cole Hayes, chasing back and winning that ball, and just caught that player's foot. And another dangerous chance here for Gibault. You got to remember how tall and big they are. Okay, you got two more people coming from the back. You got number 16 and number 14, Andrew Reinholtz and Tommy Francescan. So they're going to play this ball in, and Notre Dame's got to stay on their mark, and hopefully Zeke can win this ball in the air.
Meyer and Degner will be two big targets. Play it to the back post, and Little catches it in the air. Driven too deeply by Gibault, and an easy save for Little.
Yeah, I'd like to have that ball back if you're Gibault, to play that ball out about the 8-yard line and make Zeke think about coming out or not, and see if you can get Degner or one of those big guys on the end of it. But Zeke did a good job floating back and winning that ball in the air.
Raiders on the near side sideline. We are scoreless. Raiders taking it right into the heart of trouble with Volkamp. Volkamp, a little layoff. Raiders go to the far side for Riggs. Riggs can't close in time, and the defense sweeps it away for Gibault. To the far side, Raiders on it, want to play it out to the left side. They've shown the ability to go left or right and play it with impunity if they can get it inside that 18 along the wing and then play it across at the 6 or the 12. Long goal kick for Gregson as he cleaned up a wide, lazy, drifting ball back by his goal. Raiders on a bicycle kick, blind, pop it up in the center circle. A couple of headers, and Riggs is going to try to come down with it. Riggs, he can't get there in time. Popped up, and quickly on the counterattack is Gibault. Enright comes up to join the flow. Raiders on the steal. Raiders middle of the field. Oh, bad break as that hits the back heel of Riggs and cuts off the momentum. Reese on the counterattack. He's through one man, through two, draws another man, drags it with his left foot. He was looking to cut it back to the near side for Aubrey Reese, but never found the hole as Aubrey Reese was left uncovered on the run by Enright.
Yeah, good effort there. Zanger winning that ball and playing it forward to Cole Hayes, who's given him some great minutes here in the second half. And Cooper making a little 20-yard run there. Would have been nice to see him cut back to his right foot and maybe unleash one with his shot on his right foot, and also with the wet turf and stuff. It'd be nice if Notre Dame can get some more shots on this goalkeeper.
That's just a curling cross attempt, not a shot on goal coming from Hayes on the far side. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for Gibault. Under 10 minutes to go now in the match. We are scoreless, and we'll be looking at least a couple of overtime sessions if we go scoreless to the end of regulation. The formatting is still in place for matching overtimes and then 2 sudden victory overtimes, followed by
referee
penalty
made a
kicks.
mistake here, and he's actually going to call a call for Quincy Notre Dame. So Cole Hayes, the littlest guy on the field, and we talked about him earlier. He had that chance on the header. He went up and got pushed in the back. The referee blew his whistle, pointed the wrong direction, and then now he's righting himself. Similar to the umps in the, what was that, game 1?
On the non-catch at second base.
Non-catch at second base,
That
got
wasn't
together.
just game 1, that was inning 1 of game
Inning
1.
one, there you go. So Zeke Little coming up here again. You ever see a goalkeeper score? Maybe we can call this one?
Sure. Little. He's going to go chip to the back post. Raiders flood the area. Raiders have an opportunity to touch it on, and they come up empty. Zanger was there, and he just left it on the backside, and no one redirected it. Little on the punt as he retreats toward goal, pops it up, and the Raiders have it on the near side. Play getting even more physical now as Laurent gets knocked down, goes down, and the centerman awards the Raiders a restart.
I agree with the call again there. Number 2 had his elbow up in the back of Quincy Notre Dame. So you'll see Little. Now, last time Gibault came all the way high and put their guys about 25 yards, and Zeke really hit a good ball up and over that Reese couldn't get a foot on, then it bobbled, and Aubrey got on. Here we go again.
Little wants to chip this one to the backside. Doesn't get enough on it this time, and it's stolen by Gibault. Little retreats quickly back to the goal mouth. Gibault on the far side. Raiders trying to hold just to restart this, and now a professional foul on the Raiders as Johannes comes back, takes the trip, and it'll be a restart.
Good foul there from Brendan Smith. Now Zeke tried to do the same thing he did last time. He needs to really drive that last one in there a little bit more and get that up over the defense like he did the first few times. So that he just underhit it, and then Gibault was off and running. So they're very good on the counterattack, but a good foul there for Brendan Smith.
Boy, not necessarily a counterattacking style of team when you look at them. They're big, they're quick, but you would think they would just use their size to kind of lean on you in a way, but they've shown a propensity for a quick counterattack. Flighted in deep by Gibault. Header back is out of bounds, and the linesman's flag is up on the far side, so that ball was going to be offside.
What's interesting here, so then you had Dagner, who's the biggest, tallest guy on the field. He came back and took that free kick at the 50-yard line, trying to do the same thing Zeke Little did. So, maybe Gibault thinks what works for Notre Dame maybe can work against them too. So,
your friends teach you what you want to know. Your enemies teach you what you need to know. A little art of war there for you. Under 7 minutes to go.
Is that from Tron?
No, that is not. That one's a little bit older. That manuscript a little bit older. No score. 6.5 minutes to go. Raiders of Quincy Notre Dame and the Hawks of Gibault Catholic. Winner goes on to the state's semifinals and plays in the Final Four Friday night at the Corn Crib in Normal. Their opposition in that game, Timothy Christian and F.W. Parker playing now. Raiders trying to bring this one square out of the far side corner. Scoring opportunity goes by the boards, but they have it back center circle. Play it up on the near side. Get that one into the foot of Fry. Fry lays it off. Raiders overlap on the shot. Tried to be ripped by Volkamp, but he couldn't get it through all the legs between him and the keeper. 6 minutes to play now, and out of bounds on the near side. Throw in for Gibault.
I tell you, Notre Dame's really picked up their intensity the last 8 minutes, and I don't know if Gibault's gotten a little tired or winded, or because they definitely aren't playing as aggressive and aren't first to the ball like they were the first 20 minutes of this half.
Yeah, you wonder if they really kind of spent what they had on a cold, wet night here this evening. Gibault looking for a turn from Degner on the near side as he works against the defense of Zach Volkamp. Volkamp has Degner screened off. Degner gives it up down the near side. Is Gibault. Gibault with Meyer up front. Meyer is going to be held up on his attack by Jacob Murphy, and it's going to be a foul against Notre Dame and a dangerous restart coming up for Gibault. 5 fouls against Notre Dame in this second half, 4 against Gibault. Curling shot, tests little, and he comes up with a big save. 5 shots on goal now for Gibault here in the second half. Not as big of a save as he had to make in the first half, but clearly a key save to keep this one scoreless for Notre Dame as we come to the final 5 minutes of regulation. Raiders with possession, center of the field. Looking for an opportunity to snake it to the wide side. Raiders step up. Gibault knocks it away from him. Ball loose, center of the field. Raiders come near side as they change fields of play. Raiders want to come on the attack. Joining the attack from his backside right wing is Volkamp. Volkamp's pass is knocked away. Raiders have it at the 35. Raiders want to step up, go back to the far side. Good patience by Notre Dame. They can see the clock ticking down right in front of them, but no need to hurry with 4 minutes to go. Raiders flight it into the 18, knocked away by the defensive Gibault. Ball loose at the center field, and a foul whistled against Notre Dame. That'll be a restart for Gibault.
Yeah, much better there from Quincy Notre Dame. Van Steele got that ball and played it wide out to Brendan Smith, who tried to cross it, just didn't overhit it up and over the defense, and then Gibault cleared out, and a good foul here from Quincy Notre Dame to kind of stop play.
Under 4 minutes to go now in regulation. We're still scoreless. We could be looking at a pair of overtimes coming up. It'll be a pair of must-play overtimes, followed by some golden goal overtimes, if we need to go that far, followed by penalty kicks. The last time these two saw each other in the postseason, it was 2005. The state championship was at Naperville that year, and it went to penalty kicks after 4 overtimes. A penalty kick shootout that the Raiders lost to Gibault that day. Whistled in the middle, and we're going to have a card for the first time here this evening. Are we going to get a talking to instead?
I think he's going to talk to both and give cards to both of them, or this is my guess. So 1 to him and 1 to him. So they'll have to come off the field.
Jake Reuter and Cooper Reese each getting a yellow here with 3 minutes to go. So in the 77th minute, Reuter and Reese get matching yellow cards.
Now this should be a free kick for Quincy Notre Dame, so it'd be interesting if Zeke comes up here and takes this. So now Gibault will take this because it gets Cooper Reese out of the game, which is one of Notre Dame's most dangerous players. So.
Notre Dame looking for a goal in the final minutes of the run of play to break this scoreless tie. Our first entry into the log comes in the 77th minute, and it's a yellow card. Cooper Reese and Jake Reeder, the sophomore, for Gibault, matching yellows and get sent off. So they'll have to wait till the next stoppage of play. Both teams looking to reorganize their troops. Coach Reese for Notre Dame and Coach Reeb for Gibault.
Now, I think this should be Notre Dame's free kick. They had possession, and the foul, it clearly called it on Gibault. It's just the reaction of Cooper that got him the yellow card, too, I think. Hopefully he's not going to do a drop ball. Yeah, so he did the right thing. Why he had to go over and talk to the linesman, I have no idea, but it is what it is. So
well,
Zeke Little will come up again and hit this from, 45 yards. Hopefully overhits this. You can see Gibault, how high they bring their defensive line up. He wants to hit this right around the penalty spot and make that goalkeeper come and see if we can get anybody to run onto this. So he really wants to drive this ball into the wind.
Little with 3 minutes to go. Pops this one up, backside post in the box. Raiders can't get to it. Knocked away by Gibault. Gibault comes away with possession and momentum far side. Taken to the sideline. Gibault just holding it up, trying to backheel now to get a give and go started against the Raiders' retreating defense. Gibault holds, knocks it off the Raiders on the far sideline, and with under 3 minutes to go, Gibault going for a throw-in. Both teams will get their yellow-carded men back onto the field as that was a quick stoppage. 2:40 to go now in regulation. We are scoreless. Gibault won the regular season matchup 1-0. The Raiders are looking to level the table and get the bigger win of the two, advancing to the state Final Four Friday night at the Corn Crib in Normal. Out of bounds, far side, another throw in for Gibault. Long throw in coming up on Gibault. They want to flick it on, looking for someone to run on. Degner was supposed to be the man, but he didn't get there. Degner looking a little bit like he's getting winded here late in the game. 2 minutes to go. Raiders have it in the center circle. Riggs looking to calm it down. Now here's a counterattack for Gibault. Gibault wants to run into the corner with Mantilla. He's got the big man, Degner, in the middle. Low and rolled in at the 6. Raiders clear it out, but a deep throw in coming for Gibault. Degner was standing on the penalty spot, and that cross went low.
Yeah, Mantilla's done a good job coming out of the midfield there, and he got that ball and crossed it in a dangerous area. But you can see Gibault, they're two forwards, Degner and also Meyer, hands on their knees, look a little tired. So dangerous spot here. Notre Dame can't give one up here with a minute and a half left.
The throw in coming from Gibault. Gibault on a long throw in. Little tries to take it out of the air, and he does. Big save by Zach Little. And Little had the opportunity to come across the goal mouth and a big grab. Boots it away. 70 seconds to go. Raiders looking for an opportunistic counterattack. Middle of the field. Raiders pop it up. Nearly handball that time by the defensive Gibault. Cooper Reese wants to go to the wide side. Reese tries to settle. Gibault runs through it. Gibault, middle of the field. Zach Reuter. Reuter brings it to the near side where he hooks up with Eplin. Eplin on the left foot feeds it down into the corner. The big man, Degner, comes for it. Degner gets knocked down, and we're going to get a direct kick coming up for Gibault just outside the penalty box. This is a dangerous restart for Gibault.
Yeah, it's a good call there. Murphy needs to just get back and get in place here and organize the defense, have a center back. And Notre Dame trying to stall here, get two people on the wall. You got to be careful with the tall guys here for Gibault.
Two-man wall. Gibault on the service. From the near side, they want to curl it toward the back post. Gibault knocks it away, but did it cross the goal line?
No, it didn't.
Oh, Gibault thought they had the game winner.
Got cleared off the line.
But the defense that time, I believe it was Jacob Murphy who stuck out the left foot and cleared it off the line after the header had beaten Zeke Little. And Gibault is in a meltdown on the far side. They thought they had it. And we are at the end of regulation. Gibault with the game's biggest scoring opportunity with just seconds remaining. But we'll go to overtime with a clean sheet on both sides. We're scoreless between Notre Dame and Gibault, the 1A Super Sectional at Collinsville on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. We'll have our first overtime coming up next.
Natalie Stratton of Advanced Physical Therapy talks from the heart about building relationships with her patients.
We do develop relationships with people, and by doing that, they can trust you because they build that rapport with you so they can trust you, and they start to tell you more, and so you learn more about their medical condition or just their life condition, and so it does allow you to, direct them in different ways. And you're seeing some people 2 or 3 times a week, for that half hour to an hour of that one-on-one time. Plus, we love it. I mean, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm in the profession. I like those relationships with people. I see that as a success in treatment. If I can get people to trust me and trust what I'm saying, they're going to buy into what I'm saying. That's why, again, I try to go and do everything I can, new techniques or new ways or different approaches to getting people better. And the more I do that, then, again, you can kind of take people to that next level.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. On the web at advancept.net. Advance through life with Advance.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Instead, the rules for overtime are different in the super sectional round than they are at the state Final Four and championship rounds. We have been told that the procedure now is 2 mandatory 10-minute overtime. So even if a team scores in the first 30 seconds, we're going to play 20 more minutes and then hopefully have a winner. If we don't have a winner at the end of the next 20 minutes, that'll be divided into 2 10-minute halves. Then we'll have a penalty kick shootout. Mark likes the golden goal, but they don't bring that into play until the state semifinals and finals.
Nope, and so you get 2 10-minute extra time periods, and they'll play them out, and so essentially 20 more minutes of soccer. And interesting finality the last minute there, Sean. You had Gibault playing that ball across, and a great header, and I think it was from Dagner again. I couldn't tell the number for sure, but it looked like it got cleared off the line by possibly Murphy, and Gibault wanted a goal, looked at the linesman, and he was in proper position, and he didn't see a goal, didn't see that it crossed the line, so it wasn't awarded one, and Gibault wasn't very happy. I think he got a yellow card for one of their players, and getting ready here to start.
Scoreless soccer after 80 minutes. That means 20 more minutes to come. We'll have the overtime kickoff next on WTAD.
We'll outfit you.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Radio 930 WTAD. I'm Sean Seacrease along with Mark Thomas. How many times did your juggernaut of a team at Notre Dame go to overtime in the state playoffs?
Yeah, my junior year we did, and that's when we went to the longest game in history, 8 overtimes and penalty kicks.
I like to set you up for that because you tell the story each year.
Yep, every year. And then I'm trying to think any other ones. Yeah, we went my senior year in the semifinals, Hoffman Estates, double overtime. We won 2-1. So that was it, I think, that I can remember.
So 2 10-minute overtimes about to happen. We'll play the first 10 minutes, then a quick 2-minute changeover, and then the final 10 minutes. And if we don't have a winner at that point, we'll go to penalty kicks. And I believe the first round is set up to be best of 5 in high school. So Mark will start thinking about his penalty kick team for the Raiders if we get that far. 10 minutes are on the board. The Raiders will move right to left here in the first overtime. Zeke Little is back to tend the net on the right side. His opposite number, Austin Gregson, back to tend the net on the left. Both keepers have gone with the 0 on their backs. Interesting, if the Germans hadn't invented the concept of null, they'd had to pick another number.
I didn't think of it like that, but yeah. Quite a few keepers are 0-0.
So 11 men lined up on each side. It's going to be Gibault to start with it. They'll come right up the middle. Degner comes through, wants to level a low shot at the near side corner. Just trying to catch Little off guard to start this overtime. I like the play from Gibault as they didn't show a lot of fight in that last 15 minutes of the match until they got the gift of an opportunity with just a couple of seconds to go on the near side corner.
You can see how dangerous Degner is there, and hit that shot, a skimmer from about 25 yards, and just went wide, but a good idea.
He's talking with the referee's assistant on the near side, I believe inviting him to Thanksgiving dinner at the house. Good show of sportsmanship for him. 9.5 to go in our first overtime period. There will be a mandatory 2. There is no golden goal in this round of the IHSA tournament overtime procedure. Raiders with a deep throw in. That goes off the leg of Ethan Shields of Gibault. And so the Raiders, another deep throw in from inside the 18. They're going to go short to the near side. It's going to be Riggs. Riggs tries to go through the legs of his defender, but Gibault too savvy for that. Gibault clears it away up the near side sideline. Another Raider throw in, this time about 50 yards from goal.
Yeah, Gibault very unhappy with this referee. Thought that was deflected off Notre Dame. Thought they should have got a throw in.
They've really only gotten rowdy during the overtime period, too. Maybe feeling the pressure a little bit. Raiders sweep it toward the 18, knocked away by Gibault. And the Raiders trying to crawl into the offensive third with Riggs on the header. Now it's at the middle of the field, and Gibault takes it to the outside. Gibault trying just a little inside move for Degner. They couldn't get the ball to curl on this wet field, and so it just seeps out of play on the far side. 8 minutes to go in the first overtime. Sean Sechrist along with Mark Thomas on WTAD. Bob Goff and his crew at QuincyJournal.com. Just surf over to QuincyJournal.com, click the QJTV tab, and you can watch tonight's game online on your smartphone, on your tablet, anywhere you need to be. Mark was watching during the second half on his phone here in the booth. With the rain, it might be a better picture than we have right now. 7.5 to go, far side. Raiders play it out. Now Gibault able to keep it in. In soccer, it doesn't matter if the player is over the line. It's only where the ball is in relationship to the line. So you can technically be standing out of bounds and touch the ball while it's in bounds. No other sport does it that way, but it works for soccer. Big cross to the near side for Gibault. Raiders escorted out over the touchline, and it'll be a throw-in coming up for Notre Dame. Raiders. Short throw, near side. That's going to be stolen away by Gibault. Quick touch, and it's out of bounds. Zach Reeder. Now the Raiders on another throw, creeping up the field. Raiders short throw, header by Gibault, and the Raiders looking to bring it down on the near side. Wild kicking going on, both teams pointing at each other, wanting the official to issue a yellow card, and no such luck. Raiders headed out on the near side with Murphy, and it'll be a throw-in coming up for Gibault.
Yeah, Zanger there, I would like to see him, which he did a couple times in the second half, hit that ball back over his head, kicking it. That time he just headed it out of bounds, and Gibault's going to set up for a long throw-in again.
Gibault looks like they want to score on a set piece, or even better yet, head to penalty kicks. The Raiders really the ones with energy here in the early parts of this overtime. Gibault on the flick on to the near side. Easy save by Little.
Yeah, another good ball there from Mantia. He's had a very good second half out of the midfield and really has created some chances there for Gibault.
Gibault has to retreat as the Raiders have it in the offensive third. Turn and touch that time for Aubrey Reese, trying to go to the far side. Can't get it there. Gibault wants to come the other way. Raiders trying to trap Gibault on the far side sideline. Reese doing some work. Volkamp back as well on that right wing. Volkamp now with the throw in on the far side sideline over the head of Reese. Gibault on the tap, wants to come back middle of the field. Gibault over the top. Little comes out off his line, calls off his defense, takes command, and has an easy pickup.
Yeah, Zeke's done a good job coming off his line the whole night, reading the ball in this turf, and especially skipping and winning those balls and getting Notre Dame out of dangerous situations.
5.5 to go in this first overtime period. 2 mandatory 10-minute periods. Then we'll proceed to penalty kicks to decide who goes on to the Corn Crib on Friday night. The Raiders looking good with energy here in overtime as they've been able to generally outpace Gibault so far. But Gibault has done a good job of really cutting off those Raider attacks. Gibault with the throw in on the far sideline. Ballcamp getting back for the Raiders along his defensive backside. Jacob Murphy there to cover up and help out, and Murphy knocks it out of bounds far side. Raiders moving right to left in the first overtime. We are scoreless. We are through 85 minutes of play. 2 40-minute halves, and halfway through this first mandatory 10-minute overtime. There'll be 2. Gibault, far side, deep throw in from just outside the 18. Top of the box, Gibault wants to turn, trying to go toward goal, stopping, pressing outside, no room for Degner to score, and the Raiders sweep it away. Degner never got a shot away. This ball careens between 2 players, comes to the near side. Degner trying to lean in on Riggs. Riggs gives up ground. Degner turns, goes to the right foot, knocked off the defense of Notre Dame. Going to be a corner kick coming up for Gibault.
Good work there from Smith against Degner there. Looked like might have hit off Degner, but Gibault got the call, and it's going to be a corner kick here for Gibault. Remember last time they had a corner kick on this end, on that side, Degner went up and headed that one that Zeke Little made a save on. So dangerous opportunity here for Gibault.
Gibault going to start it with Mantia. You mentioned he's had a good game serving it up. Header, big save by Little. Oh, that was just a quick flashing header from the back post, and Little, quick as a hiccup, got his hands up and made the save.
Yeah, as Degner again. I mean, he's just a tough matchup in there. They have 3 or 4 big guys, and a corner kick, another great save there from Zeke.
Raiders down the far side. Mishandled by Gibault defensively. Raiders, middle of the field. Raiders coming onto the left side. Popped up. It's going to go out of play to the near side, and a Raider throw in coming up. The Raiders were right down the middle with Aubrey Reese, and he couldn't get the shot off. Near side official is waving his flag, and the centerman picks him
sub,
up.
So
it's going to be a substitution, as Mark says. The Raiders will have a throw-in coming up.
Cole Hayes coming in, and he gave a great 15, 20 minutes for the Notre Dame midfield. And going to come in again and hopefully give him another a good few minutes. So
he'll come in and expel Dylan Peters. So Hayes back onto the field for the Raiders. Raiders going to go with the throw-in on the near side sideline from Smith. Smith throws it back to the near side. Left foot cross is going to be knocked out of bounds by Meyer as it was set up along the near side wing. I believe that's Klein. Raiders now middle of the pitch. Want to come down into the box on the near side. Knocked away by Gibault. Just a great little hesitation, that move from Aubrey Reese, as he wanted to go inside and went out.
A good idea there, and I'd like to get a cross here and see if we can get an opportunity.
2 minutes to go, first overtime. Raiders on a deep throw in from Cooper Reese. They're going to go to the baseline, end line. Look for Johannes on the turn. He can't get there. Raiders touch it out for Riggs. Riggs is going to have it punched away into the back line for Murphy. Murphy has it knocked away. It's going to be an opportunity for Gibault to go in one-on-none. Degner on the near side. Degner on the right foot, slides it short, and he never had an angle. Great hustle for the Raider defense to come back on the near side. Degner couldn't get it turned upfield fast enough, and a big save by Little.
Yeah, never had a real good angle, and Murphy had a bad giveaway there at midfield. Luckily, it just went on the right side here, and Degner really didn't get a good chance, to create a better angle for himself, and a good save there from Zeke Little again.
Raiders with a flick on the far side. Side judge has his flag up, and it'll be awarded to Gibault. Minute to go, first overtime period. We'll have a second 10-minute period coming up at the end of this one, whether or not someone scores in this final 60 seconds. After the second 10-minute overtime, if we're still tied, doesn't matter if it's scoreless, 1-1, 2-2, or 4-4. If we're tied after the next 10-minute overtime, we'll go to penalty kicks. Raiders up the middle, knocked away by Gibault. Gibault on the near side, looking for a quick run-on for a Reuter, and it's going to be over his left leg and out of play. Throw in coming up for Notre Dame. 35 seconds to go in the OT. Raiders bring it forward with Reese. Reese heads it out of bounds, and they're going to call it last off Gibault again, and the Gibault fans are
not happy with any
call,
I don't think, at this point.
Raiders, another short throw in near side. Riggs has it. Riggs trying to play through the defense of Frankenson, and it's come to the near side and out of bounds from Gibault. Gibault just running that off with Mancia. 10 seconds to go, first overtime. We'll have a short break and then the second overtime in just a moment. Cole Hayes pops it up. It's going to go toward the sideline, and that'll be the end of the first overtime here on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. We're still scoreless after 90 minutes. The final 10-minute overtime period comes up next. You're listening to Raider Soccer on AM 930 WTAD.
And Cinder Robin.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Everyone has a story. This story is about Sandra. She's a teacher and she suffered from migraine tension headaches daily. Determined not to rely on drugs for relief, she turned to advanced physical therapy for help. What can you learn from Sandra and her treatment at Advance? In the words of physical therapist Natalie Stratton.
A lot of times people are told that physical therapy won't do anything for migraines. There's so many different causes of migraines. There's different things that we can do that definitely help alleviate a lot of that pain, an alternative to maybe what you tried so far. The other thing, I know a lot of times people are like, I've tried everything, but I guess I would ask you, have you tried physical therapy? Have you tried, a different type of physical therapy? Because that is worth looking into because it may help you.
If you're dealing with frequent migraine tension headaches and think you're stuck, think again. Advanced physical therapy has helped many people say,
I didn't know I could feel this good again.
Advanced physical therapy and sports medicine.
The man warming up for some stop-motion action Christmas picks is Mark Thomas. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer conversation here in the break.
You want a nose muff, he said. So
yeah, it's getting a little bit chilly here. We're down to 50 degrees on the field. Wind continues to blow out of the south. And we're ready for our final 10-minute overtime here before penalty kicks. If we're tied in another 10 minutes, the teams that flipped ends of the field, Notre Dame will go left to right with a berth in the state semifinal on the line and a chance to get the super sectional plaque that Mark put his fingerprints all over
hopefully
when we were coming back for halftime.
We'll have to wipe that smudge off.
The Raiders huddled up. Breaking that huddle is Zeke Little. He has had a whale of a game tonight. He has faced 13 shots on goal. 4 of them have been quality shots from Gibault, and he has saved every one of them to get us scoreless to this final 10-minute overtime.
Yeah, he's played well throughout the game and the season, made a couple big saves throughout the game, and especially here in overtime.
10 minutes to go. Raiders have the ball. They'll attack up the left side wing. Deep draw for the Raiders as they go down the left side. Riggs can't run onto it, and it'll be a throw-in for Gibault.
Looked like it went out for a goal kick, so they'll be taking a goal kick here for Gibault.
Who are your penalty kickers if you're Coach Reese?
Probably Brendan Smith, Cooper Reese, Aubrey Reese, Murphy, and Riggs. That's my guess.
That was pretty good.
Order.
You rattled those 5 off like you've done this before. Raiders back inside the center circle on the long kick from the Gibault goaltender Gregerson to get us started here in the second overtime. We are scoreless. 90 minutes of clean sheet for each keeper as the defense has been very good and the goaltending has been outstanding. The offense has been creative at times, opportunistic at times, but not able to finish on either side of the ledger. A long bounding ball in for Little to grab. He'll punt it away, way past midfield as he goes with a 70-yard punt. Raiders trying to run onto it. Now get a little toe poke trap on the far side. Going up high to come down with it is Johannes. A foul against Notre Dame. It will go the other way.
Tell you, I'm very impressed by Cole Hayes. He went up for that head ball there. He's the shortest guy on the field, and he won that and just got a foul called on him. But he's had an excellent, especially second half and overtime period here.
8.5 to go in the match before penalty kicks. We are scoreless. Gibault works it up the near side. The Raiders back on defense with Murphy. Murphy's crossed into the middle. Raiders have Riggs. Riggs runs onto it. Now he's going to get some help from Hayes on the far side. Raiders try to scoot back with Johannes on the left side wing, and it just goes out of bounds right in front of that Raider bench.
Good try there. I'd like to see Aubrey try to bring that down with his chest there rather than heading that and see if he can turn.
Raiders working on the far side sideline. Gibault turns it into the corner. They won't be able to get there as it rolls over the end line. And a goal kick coming up for Little and the Raiders. Now, with just 7.5 minutes to go in the second overtime period, you're not going to change your strategy at this point. I think both teams would be disappointed but would settle for an opportunity in the penalty kick shootout. So for the Raiders, it's just staying sound for this next 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, and Notre Dame wants to stay sound defensively, and when they have chances to go forward, go forward. I think Gibault, you know, if they have their chances, they'd like to go forward and get a goal before these penalty kicks. They'd much rather not go to the penalty kicks. Not that anybody does, but, you know, Gibault's they definitely have had the betterment of chances as far as goal-scoring opportunities.
Raiders with possession, middle of the field, looking to attack from left to right. Going far side, spread it out wide, then look back to the middle. Give away, and it's an opportunity for Gibault to come the other way. Murphy steps up, does a great job of knocking away an opportunity for Gibault to have numbers. And Gibault has to come back to the near side with Jacques Lamy. Lamy plays it right up the middle. Gibault on a touch. They get it to Degner. Degner trying to create 1-on-3, and the Raiders have Murphy, I believe, go down. He is holding his right knee, and the centerman is watching him. Play has not come his way. Now it does, and the centerman will stop his watch with 6.5 to go. The Raiders hoping that one of their key defenders is not too injured to continue.
No, I think what happened there, Sean, Murphy tackled that and won the tackle, and then when he went to land, it looked like he landed straight on his kneecap on the field turf there, and he's up limping around. Referee didn't see it right off the bat, but then did a good job and should give this ball to Gibault. So he's having Murphy go off the field, even though it was just a little bit unusual, I guess, because he stopped the play, but. Normally, if someone comes out for the player, they'll go out, but unless that's an IHSA rule that I don't know. So Coach Reese will get him in here as soon as possible, and he'll have Riggs come back and play center back.
Some feeling back into that kneecap, and we'll get restarted. 6.5 to go. Second overtime. Sean Secrease, Mark Thomas, Gibault into the middle, Degner, and the Raiders do a great job of sandwiching him on his right and left side, not letting him get free for an attempt on that cross. Raiders on the far side, outside. Take away by Gibault. Looking to be dangerous in the counterattack. Gibault with room on the far side. Right foot cross, top of the box. Degner, no one's home. And the Raiders finally clean it up. Gibault with it high out top. Right foot attempt, and that sails well over the crossbar from Mantea.
Got to be careful there. Notre Dame lost the ball in a bad area down the right side, and Gibault got a good cross there. Degner tried to get there, and then it got cleared by Notre Dame, then cleared again, and then a shot up over the top by Gibault. And Notre Dame's got to do a better job when they clear the ball, clear it up and out rather than more to the middle of the field there.
Raiders get a goal kick from Zeke Little. Little, middle of the field, taken by Gibault. Gibault mistouched to the near side, and Degner doesn't even pursue this time. You have to pick your spots. I mean, you think, oh, high school kids, they're in great shape. Well, they are, but Degner's been out there running up and down the field for 95 minutes, so he's going to have to pick his spots here in these last 5 minutes of overtime.
Yeah, and it definitely should be going forward.
Raiders on the counterattack, look to get a touch for Aubrey Reese to the near side. Gibault escorts it out over the touchline, and a throw-in for Frankeson. Frankeson, near wing, gets it forward. Header to the near side. And Notre Dame now escorts it over the timeline. For as dangerous as Degner has been, the Raiders have done a great job of marking Mitch Meyer tonight, the leading scorer for this Gibault team. We really haven't talked about him much outside of set pieces.
No, and he's the quicker of the two players, but Degner's just been in on a lot of different opportunities in the air, and he got that chance off his own deflection where he went one-on-one, and that Zeke Little had to make a save on. So here comes Notre Dame down the left flank here.
Nice step in and deflection for Gibault. Raiders have it go out of bounds, far side. It'll be a throw-in for Notre Dame. 4.5 to go in overtime. We are inching our way toward a penalty kick shootout. Raiders looking to make sure that doesn't happen. Trying to look for a final attack here. Riggs settles it down. Raiders play it off on a 1-2 touch in the middle of the field. Can't find someone to overlap the triangle on the outside. And now into the attacking end goes Gibault, looking up top for one of their two dangerous scorers. Meyer and Degner take away. It's chipped to the near side. Have an opportunity. It's Degner again. Degner left foot. He wants to stop it, bring it back. Short cross, loose in the box, and the Raiders able to knock it away. Left foot chance for the upper 90 near side is high and wide. In a last-ditch opportunity that time, I believe it was Mantilla again who came back and opted for more touch. Now, that was Meyer who had the opportunity.
Meyer with the chance there. But
hey, boy, what a dangerous opportunity for Gibault.
Yeah, Mantilla did a good job playing that ball to Degner, but Degner wants to get that ball on his right foot, and Notre Dame never allowed him to. Good defense there, I think, from Murphy again. Possibly could have been Valkamp, and not allowing Degner to get that ball on his right foot to get a shot, and he ended up with a cross. So
3:20 to go in the second overtime. We're closing in on PKs. To the far side, it's Enright. Enright starts it up the far side wing. Looking for a run on from Muth. Into the corner. Raiders pursuing heavily, and a corner kick coming up for Gibault. First corner kick for either team in a while. Gibault had one in the first overtime period. Raiders have not had one all night.
Yeah.
So into the box floods the height and talent of Gibault.
Yeah, Mitch Meyer did a good job there knocking it off Zanger, chasing that down and getting a corner kick. Now you can see, got to watch number 5 here coming up. Might get a ball at the top of the box, but Notre Dame's got to do a good job winning this ball in the air.
Outswinger, ball at the 6. Little goes up and takes it out of the air lanes. Another big-time save by the keeper, Zeke Little. He is just controlling the tempo of play on set pieces that come into the box.
Yeah, Degner went up on him on that one, but that ball was too close to the goalkeeper, and Gibault wished they would have played that ball a little bit further out so Zeke couldn't come out and get it.
2 minutes to go in the second overtime. Throw in for Gibault, far side. Looking to turn and run. The Raiders snap it away on defense with Tanner Zanger. Raiders had to send off Murphy a moment ago. He was shown off by the centerman after injuring his leg, falling on his kneecap, as Mark said. So he looks to be good to go for the Raiders. Under 2 minutes to go. And the Raiders with possession on the far side. Whistled by the official for a foul.
Foul there, too. I tell you, one person, Frank Mantia, he hasn't lost any of his step. He's moving all over in the midfield. He's been one of the better players on the field for sure. He's going to be driving this ball in, and hopefully Zeke can command the box again.
30-plus yards, driven in deep. Little is up. The ball is in Little's hands. I thought it came out on the backside, but he quickly regrouped, and he saved a big opportunity for Gibault with 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, good play there again from Zeke. It did bobble a little bit, but he grabbed it. So great punt.
Notre Dame on the attack. Cole Hayes goes up for it. He has it taken away from him by Gibault. Gibault pops it back down the field. Degner, 1 minute to go. He's up top with Meyer. Played back now for Gibault. They have room to work right up the middle of the field. Play it square through the center circle to the right side. Gibault trying to be patient on this attack, flighted in deep, and Little has a cross that went awry.
Good idea there from Manti again, just played it, didn't get enough swing on it to play that out far enough away from Zeke.
30 seconds to go in overtime. We are scoreless and heading for penalty kicks. Raiders throw in on the near side. 25 seconds to go now. Throw in coming up for Valkamp. Valkamp with those fire red and yellow shoes. Plays it to Reese. Reese has it knocked away from his feet. Raiders on top of it. Back heel touch. 12 seconds to go. And it's going to come to the near side over the sideline, and that is going to be it. We are going to go to penalty kicks between Notre Dame and Gibault after 100 minutes of scoreless soccer. We'll have those penalty kicks for you coming up next on WTAD. Stay with us as we decide the Super Sectional Champion next on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
Natalie Stratton of Advanced Physical Therapy talks from the heart about building relationships with her patients.
We do develop relationships with people, and by doing that, they can trust you because they build that rapport with you so they can trust you, and they start to tell you more, and so you learn more about their medical condition or just their life condition, and so it does allow you to, direct them in different ways. And you're seeing some people 2 or 3 times a week, for that half hour to an hour of that one-on-one time. time. Plus, we love it. I mean, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm in the profession. I like those relationships with people. I see that as a success in treatment. If I can get people to trust me and trust what I'm saying, they're going to buy into what I'm saying. That's why, again, I try to go and do everything I can, new techniques or new ways or different approaches to getting people better. And the more I do that, then again, you can kind of take people to that next level.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. On the web at advancept.net. Advance through life with Advance.
Soccer is not enough to settle a 1A super sectional title, so we'll go to penalty kicks. I'm Sean Secrease along with Mark Thomas. Mark, you quickly moved into your penalty kick position here. You've drawn out some names. What are you writing down on your scorecard?
Well, I think Notre Dame, like I talked about before, Brendan Smith, Cooper Reese, Aubrey Reese, Evan Riggs, Jacob Murphy. I think Zeke Little could even take one. So I don't know. You know, I'm sure Coach Reese has prepared him for it. You know, most teams do this in practice and try to simulate a game-like experience in case the game does go to penalty kicks. But we'll see who they pick, and it'll be the first. Should be the first 5, and then it should go to sudden death after that, or after the first 5.
Notre Dame has sent out their 5, and amongst those 5 is Zeke Little, the goalkeeper. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Little, one of the shooters. You don't see that every time there's a shootout, but it's not a rarity either to have a goaltender take a shot.
Yeah, and you have Cooper Reese, and it looks like Brendan Smith, and then Dylan Peters maybe I think is on there too.
So Brendan Smith will be the first shooter for Notre Dame.
Well, no, the number 7. I think it's.
Are they going to make a change here? Oh, they are going to go
Tanner Zanger,
with Tanner Zanger. That's right.
Tanner Zanger.
So Tanner Zanger steps up. He'll be shooting against Austin Gregson.
And
Gregson's the senior keeper.
One thing, I think Tanner's a left footer here, so unless they know that, this could be an advantage for Notre Dame. The biggest thing on this field turf, and especially as wet as it is, you know, hit a good low hard ball, and it'd be tough for a keeper to save. So the thing about Gregson, he's tall and rangy, and so has a good wingspan on him, and so takes up a big part of the goal.
Keeper has to stay on their line until the official blows his whistle. Tanner Zanger, the first kicker, as we played 100 minutes of scoreless soccer, and will now go to a penalty kick shootout. Notre Dame is the visitor, will shoot first. Best of 5. The left footer, he rolls it past the post on the far side. Zanger comes up empty.
Yeah, he went low to the right corner there and just missed it wide right there.
It's going to be Andrew Reinholtz to shoot for Gibault. Reinholtz to shoot for Gibault. He will take on Zeke Little. The penalty kick spot is 15 yards from the goal. The right footer tucks it into the right side corner low. Gibault up 1-0.
Yeah, good finish there from Reinholtz. Zeke Little dove to his right, and Reinholtz put it in the left or the right lower corner.
Zeke Little will be the shooter now for Notre Dame. Little, the goalkeeper, about to shoot against Gregson. Little in the 2-hole. Little, the right foot goes upper 90 and sails it high and wide. Now Little falls to the ground, pounds the turf, and he has to regroup to make a big save coming up for Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. He hit it wide, high to the right, and went same place Zanger did, and just hit it wide again. And now he has to turn around and make a big save.
Mantilla will shoot now for Gibault. Gibault getting close to a title. If Mantilla scores here, he hits the underside of the crossbar and it goes in. Mantilla just went high right down the middle. He hit the underside of the crossbar and it went in.
Yeah, good finish there from Mantilla. He's had an excellent game, been one of the better players on the field, and puts Gibault up 2-0. Brendan Smith's going to step up here, and my guess is he's going to go to the keeper's left and Brendan's right.
So we'll see as they shoot on the left end of the field. Notre Dame down 0-2, best of 5. Smith needs this goal. Smith goes upper 90 and airballs it again. The Raiders have come up empty in shootouts as they've elected to go right. Two of the shooters, Little and Smith, have gone upper right, and everyone has been off frame. So now Gibault with a chance to close it out. They will bring Ethan Shields to the line. Shields scores here. Gibault wins the super sectional, and the Raiders are done. Shields on a short run up. Little needs a save, and it's off Little's fingers and into the back of the net. Gibault wins it 3-0 in the shootout, and they win the 1A super sectional over Notre Dame. Zeke Little, the senior, crumbled in agony at the far side post, and the Raiders in disbelief on the pitch here at Collinsville. Our final tonight, 100 minutes of scoreless soccer wasn't enough, and Gibault wins it in penalty kicks. Just as they broke the Raiders' hearts for the state title in 2005, the last time these two met, Gibault proves itself better in the PK and takes the plaque at hand because of that supremacy. Gibault over Notre Dame on penalty kicks, 3-0 after 100 minutes of scoreless soccer. We'll have the post-game show for you next. The Raiders wrap up the season at 9-13-4. Gibault moves to the state Final Four at 17-4-4. Next, the post-game show. We'll talk it over with head coach Greg Reese and wrap up the season for the Raiders on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
Dr. Gallimore practices.
Natalie Stratton of Advanced Physical Therapy talks from the heart about building relationships with her patients.
We do develop relationships with people, and by doing that, they can trust you because they build that rapport with you so they can trust you, and they start to tell you more, and so you learn more about their medical condition or just their life condition, and so it does allow you to, direct them in different ways. And you're seeing some people 2 or 3 times a week, for that half hour to an hour of that one-on-one time. Plus, we love it. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm in the profession. I like those relationships with people. I see that as a success in treatment. If I can get people to trust me and trust what I'm saying, they're going to buy into what I'm saying. That's why, again, I try to go and do everything I can, new techniques or new ways or different approaches to getting people better. And the more I do that, then, again, you can kind of take people to that next level.
Advanced Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. On the web at advancept.net. Advance through life with Advance.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.